Morning to you. Welcome to FIVEAA Breakfast, broadcasting live from the Central Markets. That's just cracking to life here on this Thursday before the Easter long weekend. Come down and say hi. It's going to be a really fun morning, I suspect. On the program, as per normal, we'll be off to the US before 7. Great news out of New York, where the Brooklyn subway shooter has been apprehended. We'll be chatting with Matt Abraham after 7:30. We'll recap the political spin of the last 7 days. Just a smorgasbord at the moment with the federal election going on. Peter Malinauskas, the Premier of South Australia, will be on the show. Tom Duday from the Adelaide Football Club. They need to be 2 goals better and they'd be a top 8 side at the moment, the Crows. We'll chat with him before 8:30. And, of course, today, David Pemberthy. It feels back in your spiritual home, it's right that we're going to award what is a prize and a contest dear to your heart, $2,500 for your secret recipe. Good morning.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, listeners. I love being in the Central Market. We are sitting here in the southwestern corner, just opposite Atlas, just down from Lucia's, right next to the excellent Vegas Poulterers. I was just talking to Vegas from Adam. He was telling me a story that I reckon every South Australian small business could relate to. They got knocked out by COVID last week and they had to shut for a couple of days. They're back open, and like so many other businesses, they've had their encounter with the Rona, and they're back and stronger than ever. But you know, part of the reason we're here today is to remind people that life is getting back to normal in the Central Market. And you know, the market has managed to stay open for most of the last 2 years. It's always been a good place to shop because it's sort of an outdoor-indoor environment, if that makes sense. You know, you've got a lot of space, a lot of fresh air, but it's just every time mates of mine from interstate come over, I bring them to the market, and you know, there's a certain arrogance about people from Sydney and Melbourne at times where they sort of, you know, think that the greatest risk you face in Adelaide is that you're going to die of boredom. But you bring them to the Central Market and they just go, you know what? There's nothing else like this in Australia.
Yep.
There's nothing. Like, sure, there's the Pran Market in Melbourne, which is, you know, blink and you'd miss it, small, a few good stores. But Sydney's got the fish markets, which is superb. But, you know, they're a fish market. It's not like there's much other stuff there, but the Central Market, Adelaide Central Market, is the only place where you've got everything you need. And, you know, as I was saying, talking to Adam from Vegas, I spent 5 years working here. It's a really, really nice place to work. Yeah. Like, it's its own little world.
So where does Easter, the Thursday before the long weekend, fit into the busiest trading days at the market?
Second craziest day of the year.
It is,
yeah,
right.
Like, I mean, the last shopping day before Christmas, I'll tell you what, we used to start... I used to start at like 5:30 with Steph at McMahon's, and we would just unload. We'd get like 1.5 tonnes of watermelons. You'd be getting, you know, all these Queensland blue pumpkins. It was like SAS training, literally unloading the truck. Mate, you would not believe this. 32 years ago, I could have been a triathlete.
Yeah, right.
From working here.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the most intense workout because you're up and down the wooden staircase at the top of the fruit shop every 5 minutes with a 20-kilo sack of spuds on your shoulders. Then you're doing deliveries to people's cars. I used to do deliveries to restaurants on a wooden cart. So I'd go from here. There was a Japanese restaurant called Matsuri's. It was down near West Terrace. I would load up this wooden cart with like 15 or 20 boxes of stuff and walk along Goodyear Street carrying this massive behind me like I was a Clydesdale. It was like the best way to stay in shape. But... meet people though, like there were, you know, and there was, you can actually set a sitcom, I reckon, in the Central Market because there was always some drama going on. There was always some stall holder.
It's a large number of people working in close confines. You're going to get some pretty good stories.
Fun place.
I did 2 trips up and down the stairs from the car this morning. It just about killed me. So I believe it.
It'd kill me now.
I believe it. Our number, as always, an invite, as always, is for you to be part of the show. We love you being part of the conversation. 8223 0000. You can text us on the Telstra Storm Outbarker text line as well, 0448 08 1395. I noted a comment from Luke on the FIVEAA Facebook live stream already this morning has made the point. I hope you guys talk about the chaos at the airport. We'd love you to tell us about the chaos at the airport. If anyone's had any experience of going or planning to go today, we of course spoke with Bretton Cox, the managing director of the airport, the other day, who said get there 2 hours beforehand, not the usual one, even if you're travelling obviously domestically, 2 hours beforehand at the moment. But we want to tell the stories. We're going to talk more about it after 7 o'clock this morning. But if you've been through, you've arrived, you're going, or you're there right now even maybe, let us know what the situation is. Get us up to speed. 8223 0000 is the number. We're going to take a break. News headlines are coming up in just a moment.
The original MasterChef winner, Julie Goodwin!
Julie's back.
Don't be nervous.
It's like saying, don't be 51.
MasterChef fans and favourites starts Easter Monday on 10.
G'day, it's Jared for Southern Mitsubishi. Thinking Mitsubishi or servicing your existing car? Southern Mitsubishi is your absolute go-to. Their state-of-the-art servicing technology and world-class quality control systems will ensure your vehicle gives you many years of hassle-free motoring pleasure. The same goes for buying a new Mitsubishi. They stock the full range, all designed to thrill. So get in touch with the amazing team at Southern Mitsubishi, 147 Main South Road, Morford Vale, driven by Australian Motors, LVD 80.
Today is Free Fuel Thursday at OTR.
So what exactly does that mean? Well, it means OTR are relieving some pressure at the Bowser by giving away 100 tanks of fuel. That's right, free fuel today at OTR.
How's their timing? I'll tell you what, I filled up yesterday. I wish I knew about this competition. For your chance to win, simply download the OTR app, scan the QR code at the pump, and then pay with the app to get instant fuel discounts. It's for a limited time only, and only at OTR.
When they came up with this giveaway, did they realise that there was going to be war going on in part of the world? Like, is there someone right now at OTR that's going, trust me, I think this is going to work?
Yeah, that's right.
Competition closes Monday, the 9th of May, 2022. Prizes will be drawn and won instantly. Authorised under permit number SAT21/1820. Terms and conditions available at OTR.com.au.
It's a great initiative from our friends at OTR, so scan, pump and save with OTR.
You deserve to enjoy doing what you're passionate about. Gardening, for example, or walking to keep fit. So if your body is stopping you from enjoying the life you want, come and see us at SportsMed. Our Stepney Healthcare Hub includes our own hospital, orthopaedic surgeons, doctors, physios and podiatrists, so we can see to your care from diagnosis to rehabilitation, all in one place. Easy. Get back to doing what you love. sportsmed.com.au.
Are you ready to vote? The federal election has been announced. If you've recently changed your name or address, turned 18 or become an Australian citizen, you must update your enrolment details or enrol to vote before 8 p.m. on Monday the 18th of April. Head to aec.gov.au or pick up an enrolment form at any AEC office and return it to the AEC before 8 p.m. on Monday the 18th of April. Your vote will help shape Australia. Authorised by the Electoral Commissioner, Canberra.
We don't just say we're local, we are local. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Visit 202greenhill.com.au and donate to cancer accommodation, research, prevention and support this April.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Now, we have a little 5AA breakfast tradition that happens going into the Easter long weekend each and every year. It's two-part. First part is we come to the Adelaide Central Market and do a broadcast. The second part is being respectful of Good Friday. We don't do a meat tray Friday. We do seafood tray day. So thanks to the great people of the Angelakis brothers here at the markets who are open today for, up until 7 p.m. tonight. You can come and find them at stall 6. We have a seafood tray to give away, and there was really only one question we could ask you this morning. Given the events of the last couple of days with the gotcha questions and Albo's massive gaffe, when have you put your foot in it? When have you put your foot in it? When have you said something that's got you in trouble? You've got it really wrong.
How long have we got? We're going to do that for a living.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, what day is it?
We're not eligible.
No, that's right. It's literally 25% of our job. Yeah. On a good day. 822 300 or text us on the Telstra Storm Out Barker text line. When have you put your foot in it? Could win yourself a magnificent seafood tray heading into the long weekend.
Well, and I was just reflecting on the fact this is the first time we've actually sat next to each other for more than a fortnight. Because you've been at home for the previous week.
Yep.
And I was home as a close contact for the week before that. So this is this is the first time since the 29th that we've been together.
So it's the longest break we would have outside of Christmas holidays in any normal period.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're keeping well anyway.
Yeah, good to see you, mate.
Yeah, good.
You're
I'm
looking
glad.
good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think this is...
Actually, you've grown a beard.
Yeah, I know.
Come into the market and see Will's beard, folks.
I haven't I'm just coming out of the cave. My fear is this is going to be overstimulus.
Well, that's right.
I should have been breaking into society more gradually, meeting a couple of familiar faces.
Yeah.
But here we are, Central Market. See I might have a total freak out by 9 o'clock. Who knows? Let's get to the news headlines. There's a fresh travel warning for holidaymakers as Adelaide Airport braces for its busiest period since pre-pandemic. 25,000 passengers are tipped to pass through the terminal today and again tomorrow. Travellers being urged to arrive 2 hours before their flight for domestic and 3 hours for international. Masks will still need to be worn in the terminal and on the plane. This is a good, notable moment in South Australian history too. Last mandated mask day for most public areas.
As of tomorrow, you'll be able to
hang your mask.
Well, it'll depend where you are. Like, you won't be able to wear them. You'll still have to wear them on public transport. Yep. Kids don't know yet. They'll know by the end of the school holidays, and teachers, whether they have to keep wearing them at school. But, places like the market, you'll be able to, any retail setting, restaurants, pubs.
You could do it today just for old time's sake. Come out, put the mask on.
Last night was the first time that our whole family, like me, Kate, and the 4 kids, had all been together because of COVID. So we went for a counter meal at the Goodie Park Hotel, and you could really see the communities at the sort of end of its tether with the, hang on, I'm standing up to go to the toilet, I'll put my mask on. Then I'll go back down to the table, I'll take my mask off. I'm going to get some more water for the kids, I'll put my mask on. Like this sort of on-again, off-again tango.
Yep.
I think people are going to be pretty quick to go, we are going out for a cannery and no one's wearing a mask.
Yeah, absolutely. This story is incredible. A man's been arrested after stealing bits of lawn from a sports complex in Port Pirie West. You need to see the pictures of this to believe it. The local police received reports of lawn cut-offs and a roll of lawn being stolen. The grass had been laid down to replace a large section of the oval. This is a big recreational space, and someone said, you know what, that's good grass. The thefts happened on Sunday and Tuesday nights. The man responsible was caught on CCTV footage. Police attended the 45-year-old's home, found the lawn. Didn't look in great shape for mine, but I'm not the gardening expert. The lawn was then removed and returned to its rightful owner, and the thief will appear in court in May on charges of theft and breach of bail. So maybe not his first lawn-related offence.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe he's one of those guys who runs around the verge pulling out people's agapanthus or status.
Well, we've got a very close to home case. Oh, no, Lucy, our producer, moved into a new house, was just moving the furniture in. Day one, let me look out my windows. My rose bush was being dug up and taken away. A man was standing, as she was moving in.
Him in the act?
Yeah, caught him in the act.
Was it a new rose bush, boys?
No, mature.
An established rose bush.
The guy was digging it out. And as I understand the story, Luce, he didn't stop once she saw him. Now, that could be... Luce is not the most intimidating person you've ever seen.
Not physically, at least.
No, we should see what she says in our headphones, though. My God.
Right. In both English and French.
Yeah, that's right.
That was absolute murd, boys. Things like that.
The Labor leader is setting his sights on New South Wales, Anthony Albanese. He tours his third state of the federal election campaign. He's going to seek to gain control at media conferences from now on. They've changed tack. This is interesting after our chat with Phil yesterday. His major economics stumbled, the rambling nature of them. I think the idea, tactically, the choice was, I will answer every question. I've got nothing to hide. I'm willing to back myself in. It lasted 2 days.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's proven there's a reason why sometimes things are done the way they're done.
Yeah.
You end the press conference because at some point the timeline grows to, towards the chance you're going to make a stuff up if you just keep talking.
The guy's in real danger of becoming sort of like, it's Meat Tray Friday topic today. When you put your foot in it?
Yes.
You don't want to be known on day 4 of the campaign by the sort of new popular expression, doing an elbow.
No.
And it's sort of drifting towards
it. It is.
Have you seen the front page of the West Australian newspaper today?
Unbelievable.
The headline, folks, is wouldn't know his A bleep 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 from his elbow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know his ass from his elbow. And there's a picture of him walking out of yesterday's press conference with a clipboard over his face saying, that's it, no more questions.
This is the Labor stronghold state of WA.
Yeah.
State election-wise, anyway.
Yeah. This is McGowan's home state, and this is a place where Labor need to pick up seats if they're going to win the 7 that they need to form government. You're getting coverage like that's probably not going to help you.
On the Prime Minister side of things, he has been talking about forestry workers in Tasmania. The coalition will spend more than $200 million to improve wood processing technology and create 73,000 highly skilled jobs. Australia's unemployment rate for April will also be released later today, so you'll be able to get up to speed.
Yeah. It'll be numbers to forget.
It'll be fresh in mind.
That's right. About 8?
It was
8 or 9,
3, 6, 7. I don't know. What do you reckon? It remains at a 50-year. Well, it was at a 50-year low. It'll be interesting to see if it remains that way. This is good news, and we'll have more on this before 7 o'clock with David Woiwod in New York. The man wanted for allegedly opening fire on a subway train in Brooklyn is in custody. The 62-year-old was spotted by bystanders wandering around East Village in Manhattan. The arrest comes more than 24 hours after a man wearing a gas mask threw 2 smoke grenades and fired a barrage of bullets inside a rush-hour subway train in Brooklyn. At least 10 people were injured, 5 critically. Here's the Mayor of New York City, Eric Adams.
My fellow New Yorkers, we got it. We got it. I cannot thank the men and women of the New York City Police Department enough, as well as our federal agents, our state police, our first responders, from the 9/11 operators to the various men and women from our medical professions. We got him.
You know what this case goes to show as well? Because they've found this guy's social media account. There is a, not so surprisingly, I think, strong correlation between people who post videos opining about and daydreaming about committing mass shootings and those that commit mass shootings.
So this guy, it's almost like a man Hieronymus type situation.
Yeah.
Where, like, because this guy's known to police and he's got this history of extremist views, and it sort of shows how, I mean, I suppose you can't really go around arresting people for having weird ideas.
No.
But, like...
But maybe you should.
Well, the warning signs were there. I actually think the other bigger issue, though, is someone who's clearly barking mad as this bloke. How did he get access to weapons?
Well, that's right, yeah.
Which is, to, Biden, I mean,
there's
a noble but doomed cause,
I
trying to flag gun reform again.
I can accept that, okay, the right to bear arms, some people see it as entrenched in what that country is, okay? That's part of independence and freedom. But there's got to be a line between a right to own weaponry and preventing people who have openly said, I'm going to go and shoot a bunch of strangers with it.
Yeah.
I mean, surely you can rule out someone.
Yeah,
I would have, and this guy he wasn't hiding it. He put it up on his YouTube page.
That's extraordinary.
22 after 6, the weather today is going to be magnificent. Right now, it's not bad either. 17.6 degrees outside in the city. It's actually cooled off a little bit. It was 19 on the drive in. It feels pretty nice, I think. We've got a little bit of a breeze coming through the markets here at the moment. It's going to be a top of 28 today, and it's going to be perfect right throughout the weekend. You're right. 28 tomorrow for Good Friday. Up to 30 and sunny on Saturday. 27 on Sunday. It drops away a little bit. We'll get maybe a drizzle on Monday and 23, albeit that keeps getting less and less each and every day, and then cools right down to 22 on Tuesday and 21 on Wednesday. The fish tray today, thanks to Angelakis Brothers here at the Central Market. Whenever you put your foot in it, 8223 0000, or text us on the Telstra Storm Out Barker text line. We'll get to your Meat Tray Friday entries in just a moment. We did get a traffic bit of advice too from a caller. We thank them for that. Heading to Port Wakefield northbound, there's now 2 lanes open for the Easter long weekend, so thank you for that. Sue also says on the Telstra Storm Out Barker text line, thank God for John Howard's gun laws. Absolutely,
That's right.
Sue.
Actually, poor old John Howard's having about as good a campaign as Elbow, isn't he?
He's struggling a little bit, old
John. He's changed his position twice on whether Elbow started appropriately or not. Just in relation to the traffic, a lot of discussion about the airport, but I'll tell you what, you'd think that later today, heading north, heading south, it is going to be pretty crazy out there. I know so many people who are going away for the weekend. Are you doing anything, or are you staying?
No, I'm calling the footy on Saturday. So yeah,
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going away. We're not doing anything. Well, I'm going to the footy for the first time in a long time.
Jeez, it's torturous having to hear that Richmond theme song, though.
Well, who says we'll have to hear it, Will?
Well, you have to hear it when they run out.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not being that pessimistic. Just hearing it all makes me sick.
I like what you said before. 2 more goals and we're 7th.
Yeah, that's right. There's another side that says 1 less kick after the siren and we're 0 on.
It's the glass half.
That's right. But it's Thursday. Long weekends coming up. Yes. The sun's out. The weather's good. Let's be optimistic here in Adelaide. 24 after 6. We're going to talk sport right after this.
What starts with A and ends with E? Supplements for you and me.
FIVEAA health supplements are now available at leading chemists and health food stores nationwide. Ask for FIVEAA at your favourite pharmacy.
If you're due for a service, here's a little reminder of what you get at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Sure, your car gets state-of-the-art servicing by top-trained mechanics. But what do you get? Try next-day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. Oh, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we know that to be the best, we've got to look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Hurry into Beaumont's huge DIY sale. Refresh your kitchen splashback for under $100, update your outdoor pavers with 20% off, and grab up to 60% off Manager's Easter specials. In-store only at your local Beaumont Tiles.
There are some things in SA that are better off together, like the Popeye and the Torrens, Fritz and Sauce, the Mall's Balls. But if you're after the perfect pair, you can't go past your seniors card paired with a National Pharmacies membership. Your seniors card entitles you to an exclusive National Pharmacies membership offer, and you'll benefit with up to 70% off prescription medication, 20% off prescription glasses and sunnies, and much more. So talk to our friendly team at National Pharmacies and join the community that cares for yours.
Your pals say a lot about you, and that's why Parafield Airport Liquor Store put all their pals to the test before they make the shelf. They've made pals with over 300 craft beers, 500 whiskies from around the world, and over 2,000 wines. They know good pals when they see them, and they've got an airport hangar full of pals to introduce you to. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals. Open till late 7 days. Next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
If your business could do with more business, you should try advertising here on the radio. FIVEAA can help turn your brand into a household name. We could do it with a jingle, or a really funny ad, or something deadly serious. Our audience is big enough to fill Adelaide Oval again and again. Get in touch with FIVEAA to find out how we can give your business more business.
Forget the high-vis shirt. Everyone's a tradie this month at You Install It Kitchens. Yep, we're offering trade pricing for everyone. All our cabinetry is custom-sized and pre-assembled. That means you'll save money and it'll save you time too. Get your trade pricing today for a limited time only. Head into a showroom to get started. Modbury, Glandore, Norwood, Lonsdale and Churchill Centre. Or try You Install It's free 3D online design planner. You Install It Kitchens. The complete DIY kitchen solution. Conditions apply.
FIVEAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to FIVEAA Facebook or search FIVEAA on YouTube.
Help create a home for South Australians impacted by cancer. Visit 202greenhill.com.au.
You're listening to FIVEAA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
28 minutes after 6, live from the Adelaide Central Market this morning. We just caught up with Mark from Glenside, a regular 6 to 6:30 texter. That was nice. If you want to come down and say hi, drop by Adelaide Central Market, get your shopping done for the Easter long weekend as well. Nick texted us on the Telstra Storm Barker text line and says, any free margaritas this morning?
No, we learned our lesson last time after our quiet chat with the police commissioner and his off-sider, Linda. She's now the acting commissioner. Yes. She seemed less amused by it than Grant Stevens. Yeah. I think we were lucky that Grant Stevens...
Well, someone did make the point. Grant Stevens has the influenza at the moment.
Yeah.
So we don't have it in. If we need,
we got no...
So we're on our best behaviour down here.
That's right.
We're not touching anything. We're not selling anything. We're not making promises we can't keep.
The acting commissioner, she was very much the bad cop in that scenario.
Yes.
I think she wanted to beat a confession out of us or something like that.
David, we're dangerous territory. Let's talk quickly about sport, because it's selection day in the AFL, and there's going to be some interesting stories that do come out of this. Sport, of course, Rennie's still off at the moment. Gliderol Garage Doors adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. One confirmed change for Port Adelaide. Ollie Wines is out, of course. He's got the irregular heartbeat. Sounds like that's under control and it's going to be okay, but a pretty scary. Anytime your heart is of concern.
I thought they said it wasn't his heart now.
No, I thought it was.
Well, that was the initial fear.
I know they said it wasn't myocarditis. It wasn't as a result of COVID or a vaccine or anything like that.
But the evidence is still that there is an irregularity that they're keeping an eye on.
That was my understanding.
Right, okay.
Alira should come back in, and Robbie Gray. They both trained yesterday, which will be huge ins for Port. Alira makes a massive difference to the back line.
Is Cripps still out for Carlton?
Yeah, Cripps is going to be out. So Cripps will miss. Port Adelaide are a real show. Carlton got rolled by Gold Coast last weekend.
Yeah.
The Port Adelaide are a real show to get on the board this year. Scott Lycett 50-50.
This week, not this year.
Well, Yeah, both. Both.
Are you confidently predicting that Port will win a game this season?
Maybe even this week is what I'm saying.
Okay.
For the Crows side of things, this will be a big story. Harry Schonberg potentially going to be dropped. Matthew Nix flagged this in the press conference yesterday. He has struggled a bit of late. It'll be interesting to see how they do that. Sam Berry and Jackson Haitley have been playing really well in the sample. I reckon Sam Berry's been best on the last 2 games. Shane McAdam, potentially an inclusion as well. He spoke highly of him adding some dynamism to the forward line. And Mitch Hinge, who I think has been a really good pickup from Brisbane, great ball user. Unfortunately, the bloke runs into injury problems after he plays about 6 consecutive quarters. Light session yesterday, still in the mix to play, but we'll find out more on that.
He's a new defender, isn't he?
Yeah, you can tell he's got his shoulders always taped up because I think they're held together with silly putty. But he kicks the ball magnificently. He's a good
Richmond
footballer.
win.
Yeah, but Adelaide Oval's funny things happen at Adelaide Oval. The Crows are different. What's happened to me? ISO's made an optimist out of me.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm out.
Well, you're just happy to be out of the house, mate.
Everything's good. The world's wonderful. We're going to take a break.
High on life.
High on life. 5AA News is on the way. We're going to get to some of your Metro Friday entries in just a moment.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy, 28 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Physio Extra Marion have a hydrotherapy pool now on site. Contact Physio Extra Marion or head to physioextra.com.
Adelaide Airport is gearing up for its busiest day in 2 years. Up to 25,000 people will pass through the terminal today and again tomorrow as Easter and the school holidays start. Lengthy queues are already being reported this morning. Travellers are urged to arrive 2 hours early for domestic flights. Qantas has issued an urgent plea for unrostered pilots to help fly planes. The airline put out the call yesterday. Retired Captain Richard de Crepney says there was a worldwide pilot shortage before COVID hit, which has been exacerbated as borders reopen.
The industry's been beset by all these travellers who had this travel delayed, now all wanting to travel. And that increase in the industry the industry grows at 15% per annum. It'll continue. And so this shortage of pilots will be exacerbated all around the world for probably the next 5 to 10 years.
It's day 5 of the federal election campaign. The coalition will pledge 73,000 new jobs to improve research and technology in the forestry sector as demand for timber continues to rise. Michael Packy has more.
The Prime Minister has shifted his campaign to Tasmania, where he'll commit more than $200 million to the forestry industry. Scott Morrison needs to shore up 2 marginal Liberal-held seats and is hoping to snatch a 3rd from Labor. The money will be used to improve wood processing technology and expand research in the area as global supply chain issues put the squeeze on timber products. Creating more highly skilled jobs in the sector will dominate today's campaign as the latest unemployment numbers for the whole of Australia will be released. The government will be hoping the April jobless rate remains at a 50-year low.
Anthony Albanese is on the road in his home state of New South Wales today. The Labor leader seeking to secure support in a number of Labor-held marginal electorates, crucial to securing victory on May 21. Ukraine's president has again made a plea to the West to send heavy weaponry to his country. It's feared Mariupol could soon fall, with Russia reporting more than 1,000 Ukrainian Marines have surrendered in the city. In an online address delivered in English, Volodymyr Zelensky said freedom must be armed better than tyranny.
The images of Bucha and Mariupol have demonstrated real Russians' intentions to the whole world. It could only be stopped by force of arms. It must be done now.
Meantime, Russia's army has threatened to strike decision-making centres in Kiev if Ukrainian forces continue to launch attacks on Russian territory. And Pamela Anderson has made her Broadway debut. The former Baywatch star is appearing as Roxy Hart in Chicago. She's signed on for an 8-week run. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
Here's Sam Tugwell.
Thanks, Mel. AFL first and round 5 kicks off tonight at the Gabba with Collingwood taking on the Brisbane Lions. The Pies making 5 changes, including the return of Jordan Roughead playing his first game since shoulder surgery. Vice-Captain Jeremy Howard told Fox Footy the side will have to adapt quickly.
Great to see, Ruffy come back. He's putting an amount of work in to get himself up and going, and Coxie and Krug's get their chance, and obviously Tay and George, they'll give us a bit of bite through the mids, which would be really nice. And yeah, a bit of a mixed bag coming in, but we play a pretty simple brand, so hopefully they can come in and have some real impact.
Selection tonight, and Port Adelaide will make at least one change with Ollie Wine set to miss. Ryan Burton will line up for his 100th AFL game and expects Carlton to be a tough opponent.
They're playing some outstanding footy, so we've come up against last year's best last week, so we know the level that we have to be at to try and compete. So Carlton are up there as well, and we're going to have to be at our best, and I'm sure we will.
The Crows AFLW team will announce their club champion tonight, 1 week on from winning their third premiership in 6 seasons. And in basketball, the NBL, they're exploring a potential to welcome back Canberra to the competition. Larry Kesselman, CEO, says a team in the nation's capital could be the next in line for a league licence, following the same model as the Tasmanian team. And a soccer, the Liverpool team have progressed to the UEFA Champions League semi-finals after drawing 3-3 with Benfica this morning, while Man City have managed to hold off Atletico Madrid to progress on aggregate after a 0-0 draw. They'll take on Real Madrid in the semis. And that's 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 winners $50,000 in their Easter draws. Ends midnight Thursday.
28 today and partly cloudy tomorrow 28, Saturday sunny and 30, and Sunday 27. Right now it's 18 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Visit 202greenhill.com.au and donate to cancer accommodation, research, prevention and support this April.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
24 minutes to 7, we're live from the Adelaide Central Market. Jared sent us a bit of a rant this morning. He gave a warning first, which I always appreciate, on the Telstra Stillmount Barker text line. He says the aviation sector was thrown to the scrap heap for the last 2 years. Now the trick expected to be an essential service. Sure, management should have known that this was going to happen, but please have some patience and consideration for those on the front doing our best under the current circumstances. I agree, Jared, insofar as no one should take out frustration on an airline worker today.
No, exactly.
I'd be disappointed if anyone did, because everyone in every industry knows.
As annoying as it is, you're on holidays and they're at work.
That's exactly right. But every single workplace has been impacted by COVID and the amount of people you can put on and staffing and all that. So we should have a bit of understanding. It is just frustrating when you're travelling, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Your level of patience when you're travelling seems to diminish almost entirely.
I think it's because a lot of people just instinctively get a bit stressed, because it's all about timing. You've got to get to the airport, you've got to check in, and then a part of it is, one thing I've done lately, in fact, when Kate and I went on our honeymoon, even though we're away for a fortnight, we only took hand luggage. And I reckon travelling without a suitcase...
Good call.
If you can work out a way to pack light... obviously, it's not possible if you're going to, say, New Zealand in the middle of winter, where you need to take winter jackets and snow boots and all that. But if you can go to a place where the weather's not a problem, taking hand luggage... You just feel like a king. You just walk through, I'm not checking that, I've got nothing to check in, I've just got this, that's all I've got.
That's exceptional.
I mean, sure, I might look quite unpresentable at the end of my holiday, but
what do you care?
It's
You're
a holiday, not a fashion parade.
Exactly right. The seafood tray this morning, thanks to Angelakis Brothers, right here at the market. You can come down and have all your fish needs taken care of when you come and say hi to us. You'll find them at Stall 6. They're open until 7 p.m. tonight. We're asking you, when you've put your foot in it, like Albo did, and I think there's been John Howard, let's put him in the category too. He's had an up and down sort of a week, to use a footy terminology. Dave sent us a message saying a mate of mine once asked a friend how her mum was going. She'd passed away several years earlier. He'd been at the funeral. Thank you. Thank you,
at least
Dave.
he was still, thinking about her.
Forever in our mind. Telstra Stillmount Barker 08 1308 1395 is the number. You can text us on. You can call us on 8223 0000. When have you ever put your foot in it? Jane with a Y says one of my worst mess ups was when I was bitching to a friend about another friend via text. Accidentally sent it to the friend that I was talking about. Awkward.
I did that to Kevin Rudd. You know that story, don't you?
Yeah.
You know that story, don't you?
Yeah, I do know that story.
That's my biggest gaff.
Yeah.
I texted him thinking I was texting the editor of another newspaper to tell him that we're about to tip a massive about a fib that he'd told about the Anzac Day dawn service, and I sent the message straight to Rudd. and it contained a swear word. It was just unrecoverable gaff.
I reckon it's aged okay though.
At least it was an accurate message.
As Rudd's popularity has dipped, I think that looks better and better as time's gone on. That one.
You can Google
how quickly did you realise? How quickly did you realise?
Oh, like the moment I sent it, I went, oh my God.
Oh no.
I reckon that's really common.
Yeah. Because often subconsciously the person you're thinking about, you might click their name as opposed to the person you plan to send the message to.
Well, you know the journo Samantha Maiden? She got a text from Peter Dutton that said she's a mad witch.
That's right.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
Sam's sitting there at a desk and she gets a Dutton saying she's a mad witch. I don't know, it called me crazy, but one would assume that Peter Dutton was thinking about Sam when he wrote that text message.
Possible not to draw that conclusion, isn't it? Paul and McGill says, lads, the gotcha question I've never learnt to answer is when my wife asks, what did I just say? My brain immediately goes into instant rewind, trying to pick up an odd word or two to piece together a plausible response, but I might as well stay muted. Maybe that qualifies me for federal politics. Canberra, here I come, says Paul and McGill.
Excellent.
Thank you, Paul. And some beautiful sunrise pictures being sent through as well. Mara in Tennyson, that looks like a professional photograph. Even got, looks like rowers in the foreground there.
That's
covered
stunning.
in shadow. The cloud cover creating a really nice sort of sunrise. That's magnificent. Dean in Craigmore has called in with a foot-in-mouth moment. Morning to you, Dean.
How we going?
Good, mate.
Thanks, Dean.
Many years ago, I rolled home with a birthday card and a big bunch of flowers, rolled in the front door and went, "Happy birthday, sweetheart." Guess what?
Oh, no.
It was my ex-partner's birthday, not hers.
Oh, Dean. How did you get out of it? How long were you in the doghouse, Dean?
Fair to say we're not married anymore.
Okay, so that was kind of a permanent one. Sorry to hear it. It came unstuck after that, Dean. Thank you.
Did you go to your exes afterwards and say, well, you know...
I remember your birthday.
That's right. One door closes, another door opens.
Well, this is
another door opens.
Well, this is just it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the definition of true love.
That's right.
Whose birthday you end up ultimately
At
remembering.
least I'm thinking of somebody.
Yeah, exactly right. 8330000 is the number. Did the Liberal candidate for Mayo have a case of foot and mouth and thus make her eligible for the fish trade this morning?
This is completely bizarre. So she's. Is it a press release that she issued, or
she
her
sent a letter?
Bio? Oh, it's a letter.
She sent a letter to households in Mayo where she claims she was the manager of the Kangaroo Island Nature Trail. Now, her name is Alison Bluck. That's the candidate.
Bluck. B-L-U-C-K.
Weirdly, two things. She's not the manager of the Kangaroo Island Nature Trail. That is actually the job of Alison Buck. Not Alison Bluck, the candidate. Alison Buck, who runs what is actually the Wilderness Trail, she pointed out.
There's no Kangaroo Island Nature Trail.
There's no Kangaroo Island Nature Trail. I don't know how this happens. I imagine...
But, I mean, because the Liberal Party has said, and she said that there was material in the original letter that was included in error. What, did they have some dummy bio saying she's also, the first woman to walk in zero gravity and... that she invented the pavlova and that she discovered Mount Vesuvius and that she once kayaked across the English Channel to raise money for Variety. Like, I mean, is there anything this woman hasn't done? Do they just have like dummy achievements?
Well,
she discovered Cape York.
If your name is within two letters of someone else's name, can you just claim their achievements? Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way.
That's true.
Alison Buck, Alison Bluck.
Buck.
What's mine is yours.
There's a Blakey sketch in this somewhere. Those surnames you've got to be careful
the
with.
The line in the letter actually reads, as the manager of the Kangaroo Island Nature Trail, I am passionate about the environment. I will listen, work hard and deliver for Mayo. Well, okay. Which one of you?
Maybe this is a question. This is what often happens, and it's a sign, I think, that Mayo is an unwinnable seat now that Rebecca Sharkey is sort of so permanently ensconced there. But maybe they're bona fides. They sort of don't pay as much rigour and scrutiny to pre-selecting people in seats that don't matter. I'm not saying that this woman's not up to it. I'm just saying that the manner in which the whole thing has been handled is a degree of sloppiness.
To use a footy analogy, in Boothby you're using a first-round pick on your talent.
Totally.
Maybe back end of the draft in Mayo at the moment.
That's right, exactly. Or an SANFL top-up. No disrespect to the SANFL.
15 minutes to 7. Let's check traffic. Are you looking for a new home for your old caravan? Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
Good morning, boys. At Blakeview, a car is stuck on a guardrail, Main North Road near Medlow Road. Fullerton, Burstwater, Main, Fullerton Road near Glen Osmond Road. One lane closed there, speeds reduced. And Christie's Beach works on Dyson Road near Elgin Avenue. It's affecting one lane inbound, speeds at 40 k's. Look out for cameras today. Lander Road, Shadow Park, May Terrace, Brooklyn Park, and the Southern Expressway at O'Halloran Hill. The King Autumn Sale ends soon. After 50% off selected Australian designed award-winning furniture. Sale ends soon. Visit the King Keswick showroom today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The original MasterChef winner,
Julie Goodwin!
Julie's back.
Don't be nervous.
It's like saying, don't be 51.
MasterChef, fans and favourites. Starts Easter Monday on 10.
The crowd roars as the scores are level deep in the last quarter with a snap from the boundary. The players are celebrating on the field, but Sarah's feeling the real excitement with her mates in the crowd. It's another game day in the Host Plus Sandful League, and Sarah's found the perfect way to catch up with friends.
For all those game day vibes, don't miss the Host Plus Sandful League this weekend. Nothing beats it. Visit sample.com.au for match info.
If you're a landlord or tenant, then check this out. Toop and Toop have just launched what is an industry first. They're now giving tenants early access to rental properties. Tenants can now secure a home up to 2 months sooner and before they become publicly available. Tenants simply register on the Toop and Toop website, then they'll notify you of any properties that match your needs.
And landlords, this is an innovation that could save you hundreds. You can secure quality tenants up to 2 months in advance and before you incur hundreds of dollars in advertising costs. It's brilliant, such a great concept by our friends at Toop and Toop, and one that's absolutely vital in today's tough rental climate.
If you want to tap into this incredible tenant network, just head to toop.com.au or give them a call today.
G'day, it's Mark Bickley. For most business PC brands, a 4-hour service guarantee means they'll call you back in 4 hours. But at Leader Computers, a 4-hour service guarantee on Leader's business range means they'll come to your worksite and have you back in business inside 4 hours. Leader Computers are local, made here in Adelaide with better service, better support and speedy turnaround times. Live life local. Live life Leader. Leader Computers. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Hear that? That's the sound of the wild calling. And it's calling you. The chimpanzee is one of over 500 animals that you'll experience at Monarto Safari Park. The wild is calling. Are you listening? Book your tickets online at monartosafari.com.au.
Adelaide has a new home for BMW at Medindi BMW, with a large selection of BMW certified used vehicles available for immediate delivery prior to end of financial year. Visit Medindi BMW today at number 1 Main North Road, Medindi.
We don't just say we're local, we are local. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Help create a home for South Australians impacted by cancer. Visit 202greenhill.com.au.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
12 minutes to 7, broadcasting live from the Adelaide Central Market. We just caught up with one of the winners of our Uluru competition. The flights to Uluru, that trip of a lifetime. And apparently it very much was a trip of a lifetime. Come down and say hi to us. It's lovely to see everyone. Meet our listeners. When was the last time we did an outside broadcast?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, it just struck me suddenly.
At the end of last year?
Did we? I'm not sure we did. I don't know. It could be years.
Time's become an abstract concept over the last couple
Even
of
Lucy
years.
doesn't know. And if Lucy doesn't know, I'm convinced it maybe
feels
never
like
happened.
a long time, but it feels like things are getting back to... Yeah, KI. Probably was KI.
What's that, 2020?
Yeah, after the bushfires.
So it's been nearly 18 months. No wonder it feels strange being out and seeing people.
Crazy.
It's been lovely. Come down and say hi,
folks. Yeah, we're just
do your shopping
here next to Zuma's Cafe and Atlas Cafe. It's
trussed up on stools.
Yeah, that's right.
We look like we're here for a TED talk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Or to launch a new Apple product.
We haven't got the black skivvy on, thank God. I left my own. All right, let's talk about the weather, because that is all important for the long weekend. Simon Timke is the senior forecaster at the Bureau this morning. Morning to you, Simon.
Good morning, David and Will.
How's the weather over the next 4 days looking?
Yeah, look, bit of cloud to start off with. Looking at the satellite picture at the moment, we've got extensive areas of cloud over the western half of the state. We're just seeing that start to push over the Adelaide area now. It gave us a pretty spectacular sunrise this morning, but it's not going to stop it being warm. At the moment, temperature in the city, 19.5 degrees. We had a minimum of 17.4 at about 20 to 6. And we're expecting a maximum of 28 degrees, so pretty warm for this time of year. It should stay dry, that cloud persisting for the day. I think we'll see some showers over western districts, which might get to Adelaide late evening, but I think during daylight hours it should be dry. Around the suburbs, 28 degrees as well for Elizabeth, 27 for Noarlunga, Glenelg and Mount Barker. And the winds today, generally northeasterly in direction, but not expecting them to be too strong. For the rest of the Easter weekend, for Friday, a partly cloudy day. Again, it'll try to rain out of some of that cloud, but I don't think we'll really see too much on the ground. So pretty much dry conditions during Friday as well. And another warm day, down to 18 overnight, 28 degrees for the maximum. For Saturday, beautiful sunny day on the way with easterly winds becoming light during the morning, even warmer than today and Friday, up to 30 degrees for Saturday with that sunshine. And then Sunday, there's a change moving across, but not till later in the day. So a bit of cloud around, but should be dry at first, but we'll see that change move across later in the day, which might just bring a shower or two later on Sunday. Still a warm day, 27 degrees, but behind that change, conditions a little bit cooler. So Monday a bit cooler, 23 degrees. Chance that there could be one or two showers around on Monday as well. Early next week, Tuesday, chance of a shower around 22. Still one or two showers around on Wednesday as well, 21. So the first half of the Easter weekend, pretty warm, and then a change coming through later Sunday.
Thanks, Simon. Good stuff, mate. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. Hope you do too.
All right, 8 to 7. Let's catch up with Rebecca Stokes from SAPOL, who joins us now. Rebecca, I can't believe the idiocy of some people. So you've caught someone who was shining a laser at a police helicopter, which just is stupid for so many reasons. First and foremost, for the safety of the police officers on board. But secondly, it comes to grief in a suburban area. Comes to grief. It's more than just the people on board that are potentially in trouble. How much trouble are these people in?
Oh, absolutely. It's extremely dangerous, and it's a very serious offence as well. It happened just before 12:30am this morning. Police were performing duties over the western suburbs in the police helicopter when a laser was pointed at the aircraft and crew. The members in the crew notified Western District Patrols, and they immediately swooped on a Semaphore Park address and arrested the 48-year-old occupant. He's been charged with really serious offences, including prejudice to safe operation of an aircraft and use or possess a prohibited weapon. He's been bailed and he'll appear in court in May. We're also investigating a car fire at Semaphore Park a couple of hours later. This was at 2:30am in West Street, Semaphore Park. The fire was extinguished, but the car was completely destroyed, and it appears a fire started in the cabin of the Mazda 6. We are treating it as suspicious, and crime scene investigators will attend and examine the vehicle this morning. But anyone who saw any suspicious activity around West Street, Semaphore overnight is asked to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Thank you for that, Rebecca.
Thanks,
Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes from SAPOL. You know what has become abundantly evident now that we've spent the first time we've been in the same space for 2 weeks? Is it's clear that over the 7 years of doing this program, both of our eyesights have dropped away.
Oh,
because we both have to read the screen on the OB in front of us from 1 centimetre away.
I'm up to 2.5 magnification, and I reckon I've got my old ones out of the desk drawer this morning. I reckon these are like 1.5. So the reason I'm on a 45-degree angle, folks, looking at the laptop, is I'm 52 years old. But when are you 40?
Next year.
We're just celebrate your 40th by buying some reading glasses, because I reckon you get to 40 and
I'm holding off. I'm trying to fight inevitability.
Yeah, I reckon it was like clockwork. I turned 40, and one day I was out with some mates. We're at a restaurant. I think we're at Press on Weymouth Street years ago, and I was going, "There's something wrong with the lights in here. I can't read the menu." And one of my mates goes, "You're 40 now, aren't you?" And I went, "Yep." He goes, "Go buy some glasses." And he had some reading glasses, and he said, "Try these on."
Yeah.
And I put them on and went,
yeah,
I detect the problem.
I think it's coming.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
brace yourself.
We're never going to throw to an ad break, and Lucy might actually strangle us live in the central markets, which, I mean, it'd be good for publicity, but probably wouldn't be good.
With a baguette.
It's possible.
Plenty of them around here.
6 to 7, we'll take a break, and in a moment, we're off to the US.
For over 38 years, Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth a trip. And right now, Steinborners are the place to go for top dollar on your trade-in. They will do any trade, and this month they're offering a further $1,500 bonus on all trade-ins. So go out to one of Steinborner's 8 locations for Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Ford and SA's best range of used cars. View all their used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth a trip.
Harvey Norman's Super Easter Weekend. Bonus local delivery on Australian-made mattresses and bedroom furniture with purchases over $999. Super deals on lounges, dining, outdoor furniture and barbecues. Available for quick delivery. Plus 60 months interest-free, no deposit finance from Latitude with 60 approximately equal monthly payments. Finance only available if you have or are approved for a participating Latitude credit card. Minimum finance amount $1,000. See T's and C's. Interest applies for non-compliance. Fees and product exclusions apply. Available on in-store purchases only. Delivery 25-kilometre radius of store. Super Easter Weekend on now at Harvey Norman.
At IGA, you'll find all your Easter goodies, like Yarrow's Easter buns, $4.30 to $4.80 gram, only $3 each. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends April 19. Participating stores only. Excludes local grocer and Foodland.
A good plumber will do the job right, but a master plumber will keep you warm and dry during a winter storm. Say goodbye to leaking roofs, overfilling gutters and flooded backyards. Make winter a time to connect with family, not just stormwater pipes. Trust a Master Plumbers member to do the repair work and make the right connection today. Go to findamasterplumber.com.au.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows. Factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more, made right here in Adelaide, factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows, states.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Oh, windows when and where you want them.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube.
Visit 202greenhill.com.au and donate to cancer accommodation, research, prevention and support this April.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
3 to 7, just having a little bit of trouble getting through to David Woiwod in the US. He's been reporting in New York on the subway shooting that, as the details come out, it's amazing this wasn't somehow even worse, which feels almost doesn't feel nice to say given how bad it actually was. But the good news is the man Frank James was arrested in Manhattan. He rented a U-Haul van, or so goes the allegation, that was found in Brooklyn. There were keys found at the scene. 10 people ultimately were shot. He put on a gas mask, deployed a gas canister, and then began shooting. It was like a military operation, which again begs the question, why does someone who has a social media account replete with daydreaming about mass shootings and visiting harm on people have access to this kind of stuff? But he did. He committed it. There were some of the official reporting is his motive is unclear. I reckon if you read between the lines, it's pretty clear.
Hadn't he complained about the treatment of homeless people, but also race issues?
Everything. The guy.
Okay, so if that's some sort of political agenda on his part, what's the step by which you end up on a subway train randomly attacking people?
In one of the videos I saw quoted, he said, when the Las Vegas shooting happened, he said, "I get why you'd want to do that with the way the world is."
Was that Vegas one at the Country Music Festival?
Yeah,
with that sniper at the top of the hotel.
His reaction to it was, and he went online and broadcast this to everyone. Was, "I get why you'd want to do that. I've thought about doing that because it's sort of this: the world's so stuffed. This is the only way I can make a statement." View.
Did the police know about all of those videos though, or are these videos that the media found out about after the event?
That's a great question. Do they know?
Because if the police knew about that sort of stuff, then it becomes a question, well, what laws do they have at their disposal? And in a country like Australia, what laws do we have?
Well, thankfully, they just don't have access to the sort of weaponry here.
Well,
you're right.
Exactly.
If all the warning signs are there. All right, let's get to a Seafood Thursday caller. We've got a seafood tray, thanks to the Angelakis brothers here at the markets. Open till 7 tonight. Brad in One Tree Hills called in. Brad, when have you put your foot in it?
Well, I've made that many gaffes. If I made a profession out of it, I'll be richer than an oligarch.
Give us one. Give us your worst one, if you can.
Right. A few years back, one of my old schoolmates fell off the perch, and Italian funerals are huge. So I go there. I'm rushing late, so I go and sign the book, rushing, standing there, all nonchalant and that, and looking around. I don't recognise anybody here. Didn't see his daughter. Oh, well, kept on going. And the funeral was next door. I was at the wrong funeral.
Oh, no. Oh, David. Oh, Brad. Oh, no.
You paid your respects to somebody.
Thank you, Brad.
There's a movie about that.
Yeah, there is.
Crashing funerals. I must nunchuck you, man.
Well, I think it takes a dark turn to crashing. I think it starts as crashing weddings, I think. Thank you, Brad. Brad is 100% in the running to win the seafood tray, thanks to Angelakis Brothers. 5AA News time. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have a clue for you in David's secret recipe and your chance to win $2,500 cash. With a reminder, it's going off this morning.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy, 28 today with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Woken with a stiff neck or sore back? Get a Physio Extra appointment today. 6 locations, physioextra.com.
The police helicopter was targeted by a laser while in operation overnight. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says it happened just after midnight.
Police are performing duties over the western suburbs in the police helicopter when a laser was pointed at the aircraft and crew. The members in the crew notified Western District Patrols, and they immediately swooped on a Semaphore Park address and arrested the 48-year-old occupant.
He's been charged with prejudiced safe operation of an aircraft and use or have possession of a prohibited weapon. He's been bailed to front court next month. A car's been torched at Semaphore Park. The alarm was raised on West Street just after 2:30 this morning. The Mazda 6 was completely destroyed. Crime scene investigators will go over the vehicle today. Adelaide Airport is already a hive of activity as it braces for its busiest day in 2 years. 25,000 passengers are expected to pass through today ahead of the Easter break and the start of school holidays. Domestic travellers are being urged to arrive 2 hours before their flight. Masks are required in the terminal and on the plane. Children who play sport during the school day are likely to achieve better results in the classroom. Madeline McNeil has more.
The University of Sydney's analysed data from more than 100 studies involving over 1 million children. It found marks for students aged 9 to 18 are higher if they're active for at least 2 hours per week during school hours. News Corp reports science and maths saw the highest improvements. Experts say it's because the skills learnt on the field are most easily transferred to those subjects.
A man has been sentenced to life behind bars for murdering British MP Sir David Amos. UK correspondent Carrie-Anne Greenbank reports.
Beyond evil, that's how the family of murdered British MP Sir David Amos has described his killer, who's just been sentenced to a whole life prison term after being convicted of the murder earlier this week. 26-year-old Ali Harbi Ali, an Islamic State fanatic, stabbed the Conservative lawmaker more than 20 times with a carving knife in October last year.
A suspect has been arrested in the Brooklyn subway shooting. US correspondent Alison Petrowski has more.
Frank R. James was arrested overnight in Manhattan's East Village following a 24-hour manhunt. The 62-year-old is a suspect in the attack on the subway that left 10 people wounded by gunfire. Investigators had been searching for James after discovering videos uploaded to his YouTube channel discussing mass shootings and killing people. James is believed to have rented a van linked to the shooting. The keys to that vehicle recovered at the crime scene.
James has now been charged with terror-related offences and faces up to life in prison if convicted. The President of South Africa has described severe floods in parts of the country as a catastrophe of enormous proportions. More than 250 people have died and efforts continue to find others who've been reported missing. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
And it's over to Sam Tugwell.
Thanks, Mel. The Crows are considering a number of changes at the selection table tonight ahead of Saturday's home clash against the Tigers. Shane McAdam has entered the fold to generate a more dynamic forward line, while Matthew Nix has hinted that youngster Harry Schonberg could miss out.
Harry's form at the moment isn't where he has been in the past. He's struggling with a little bit of confidence,
has dropped away a little. So does he need to go back and get some confidence, find his game again? Does that give an opportunity to Haitley or to Berry? Well, that's the discussion we're having.
Across the road, Port Adelaide will name an extended squad for their matchup with Carlton on Sunday. Ollie Wines is set to miss, while Aaliyah and Robbie Gray are likely to return. Liverpool has returned to the Champions League semi-finals for the first time since being crowned winners in 2019. They overcame Benfica with a 3-3 draw this morning, while Man City also progressed to the semis. They'll take on Real Madrid. In Super Netball last night, the Adelaide Thunderbirds went down in a cliffhanger at home, falling short 44-45 to the New South Wales Swifts. And the PGA Tour and Victorian Government are set to make an announcement later this morning. They were set to confirm that Melbourne will host the President's Cup in 2028. And that's 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Looking for a new home for your old caravan? Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
At Blakeview, look out for a car which is stuck on a guardrail, Main North Road near Medlow Road. Christie's Beach works on Dyson Road near Elgin Avenue. That's affecting inbound. One lane closed, speeds at 40. And Elizabeth Vale. Power line works on Main North Road near Blacktop Road. It's as you're heading outbound. Cameras today, May Terrace, Brooklyn Park, Tapley's Hill Road, Glenelg North, and Victoria Road at North Haven. What's better than one sausage roll? How about two? Head into OTR for 2 sausage rolls for $5. Yes, 2 for only $5. OTR, making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 winners $50,000 in their Easter draws. Ends midnight Thursday.
Partly cloudy, 28 today, partly cloudy tomorrow, 28, then Saturday sunny up to 30. Right now it's 19 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Help create a home for South Australians impacted by cancer. Visit 202greenhill.com.au.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
6 minutes after 7, we've just had a spirited debate here at the Adelaide Central Market about whether even someone as dopey as me in the kitchen could potentially win this MasterChef prize, $2,500, by piecing together David's secret ingredients. Lucy gave me a 50-50 chance, which I actually think is really overs. But what we're trying to say is it could go off in the next 10 minutes where David's going to reveal another clue.
The 2 next clues are massive giveaways. The two next clues, there's no other dish you could make with these 2 ingredients.
All right.
Well, you could, but it'd be terrible.
So we'll stay listening.
There is only one dish in the world that includes these 2 ingredients.
MasterChef returns Monday night. Fans v Favourites on Channel 10. We've got $2,500 cash to give away, and one way or another we're giving it away this morning on the program. It could be in a few moments' time. We received the first message received on the show this morning at the Central Markets was from Luke, who said, I hope you guys get across what's happening at the airport today, and where the expectation is some 25,000 domestic travellers will pass through the airport today. It's a big task for an airport that hasn't seen that sort of volume since before the pandemic. Ollie Haig is at the airport covering it all for 9 News Adelaide. Ollie, good morning. Just set the scene for us, mate. What's it like down there?
Morning, guys. Well, what can I say? The Easter stampede has well and truly descended on Adelaide Airport this morning. It's been probably the busiest I've seen it in years, really, probably even pre-pandemic. The Virgin Australia kiosk has probably been the busiest I've seen so far, with queues stretching pretty much down to the Qantas area. The Qantas, chaos at the moment are probably experiencing a bit of a lull at the moment, just in between flights. But Virgin, throughout the morning, has seen big queues, big long lines to get into check-in desks. The Singapore Airlines check-in is just open now as well, so it's hard to see who's in the queue for the Virgin desks and those in for the Singapore Airlines desks. But certainly very busy. I should mention as well, there was obviously big concern, given the staff shortages we're seeing around the country at the moment, what it would be like on security. But the great news is, for the first time I've actually ever seen, every single security lane at Adelaide Airport is open, which is about 6 or 7 lanes. So as soon as you get in through security, you're pretty much getting through straight away. So the only real queue you're experiencing at the moment is checking into your flight or dropping off your bag. But I should mention there is a lot of people here at the airport. Clearly, South Australians have got a very strong eagerness to jet away this Easter.
Oh, you'd have to think that this is just the start, though, because a lot of people are still at work today and will be flying out later today. There'll be a lot of flights from sort of 5, 6 o'clock onwards tonight, and then again first thing tomorrow morning a lot of people might be heading off. So if it's crazy now, it's probably going to get crazier.
Look, to be honest, I reckon you're probably right. It was very, very busy this morning. It's probably not as busy as it was 6 a.m. this morning, but I have jumped on some of the airline pages this morning just to see what kind of flights and if there's many seats available on flights this afternoon. And I did notice on Virgin Australia's flight page that there was no flights, particularly to the East Coast this afternoon, unless you wanted to pay, $600 or whatever for business class. But I think you can expect after school and after work, it's going to be a pretty busy day again tonight. Hopefully the staff can cope. I did speak with the Adelaide Airport CEO Brenton Cox earlier this week, who said basically we've seen pretty much about a 10% workforce shortage at Adelaide. We know the airlines are experiencing a little bit more than that, but from what it seems like looking around the terminal, it really is all hands on deck. There's Adelaide Airport staff making sure people are getting to the right spot and of course are in the right queue. So while all the systems seem to be working at the moment, there is a lot of people here, and you've got to certainly tip your hat to those who are working today and getting people to where they need to go.
Good on you, Ollie. Thank you for that, mate. Ollie Haig for 9 News at the Adelaide Airport this morning. As we say, 25,000 people expected to go through. That's good to hear that, all hands are on deck there at the moment, but as Brenton Cox told us, the managing director of the airport the other day, get there 2 hours beforehand. Sounds like already a lot of people have.
We got a text here saying, it's from Rowie, in fact, friends flying to Darwin have checked in, but they've been told the flight is delayed and they haven't been given a new flight time. So a few logistical dramas emerging there. Let us know if you're down at the airport and you see hold-ups or things that you've got some concerns or thoughts about. We'd love to hear from you. 8223 or text us on the Telstra Still Mount Barker text line. It's gotcha season on the federal election campaign. And Adam Bant, the leader of the Greens, who we had in the studio last week, he had a pretty unique way of dealing with it. Have a listen.
And just very quickly, talking of abject fact-checking exercises, you said in the speech that wages growth wasn't going particularly well. What's the current WPI?
Well, Google it, mate. I mean, I am sick. If you want to know why people are turning off politics, it's because what happens when you have an election that increasingly becomes this basic fact-checking exercise between a government that deserves to be turfed out and an opposition that's got no vision. This is what happens. Elections should be about a contest of ideas. Politics should be about reaching for the stars and offering a better society.
I actually really like what he said. Yeah, I reckon it's the best thing anyone said all week in politics. And I'm not. You could probably guess this, folks. I'm not a Green voter out of habit, but I could not agree more. Yeah. And I think it's sort of, and the journos are on this too. The people deserve better than this is sort of constant gotcha nonsense. That's not to let Alba off the hook. Not knowing the unemployment rate. I'm stronger on this than you are. Yep. Well, you're more consistent with defending ScoMo about the loaf of bread as well. But Jesus, it's not big picture stuff, is it? It's hard to get very excited.
It's lowest common denominator, and I reckon you're right. The media contribute to this, and there's a little bit in political discourse in the country that. It's a fine line between the tough question and the look at me question. Yes. And there's a little bit too much look at me that goes on at the moment. I'm going to be the tough interviewer. You know what? Is it your job to use the vehicle of interviewing the Prime Minister or the potential Prime Minister? Is that a vehicle for your self-promotion, or are you actually trying to
get information
and help people who read you or listen to you or see you to learn something more? Because there's a little bit too much of the latter going on.
I agree.
Let's give away a clue, David, and potentially in the process $2,500. MasterChef Fan V Favourites, it's back. Fans V Favourites, not just one fan taking on all the favourites. It's Fans V Favourites. It starts back Monday, Easter Monday, April 18th on 10. That'll be a nice way. You've wrapped up the Easter long weekend. You can sit down and watch MasterChef. $2,500, and we're giving it away this way. David has been giving one-by-one ingredients to a recipe all week. This is the final day, the final ingredients, and if you are the first caller through once he's said the final ingredients, and you can tell us what the recipe is, you win $2,500. Time to give it away potentially right now.
Now, folks, I've been saying all week, this isn't easy. This isn't a toasted ham sandwich. This isn't...
That's why I'm not going to get it.
This isn't Fritz and sauce. It's a MasterChef giveaway, and it's $2,500, so it's big bickies that people are playing for. And, MasterChef, being a program that values excellence in cooking, we've gone for something a little bit difficult. We've had 6 clues so far. We're deliberately not recapping, so rewarding those of you who've been listening all week. Clue number 7, canned tuna.
Oh, I might know it.
Oh, seriously?
Well, I don't know. No, there's something popped into my head. Something popped into my head.
Well, maybe something's popped into your head too, folks.
822-300-55. Your chance to win $2,500. In fact, I just thought of it then without thinking about any of the other clues. But then again, I don't know how to make it, so what do I know?
Getting a lot of people piling onto the...
A lot of calls came in instantly, so a lot of people with thoughts. We'll take one.
I reckon it might go off now. People who know food will go, oh, yeah, okay.
Well, and there's one other clue you've given that made me think this. The reality of this is, if this person calls in right now, the first call through gets it wrong, we will
go to clue 8.
Go to clue 8 and give it away maybe later. So
yep.
It's all or nothing. Here we go. It's Alan who's on the line. Morning to you, Alan.
There you go, boys. How you going?
We're good, mate.
Thanks, mate.
So, Alan, just take us through your thinking. How'd you arrive at what you decide ultimately is your guess?
Well, I just said tuna mornay.
Mate, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
A tuna mornay.
Well, that's what I would have said.
Yeah,
it could arguably be a tuna mornay. Although the tuna mornay is more your white sauce.
Yeah.
With the cheese and the tuna folded through. And you probably wouldn't put lemon in a tuna mornay.
I thought you had it, Alan.
It was a good guess.
Tuna. Once you said tuna, and you've said previously a classic dish, I thought, well, here we are.
Was that your guess too?
Yeah, that's my guess too. But I didn't think through the other.
No,
when you think about it, Bailey's, I don't think feature in tuna mornay.
Tuna mornay is something you make on Sunday night. Like, this is more high end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is classy.
All right, okay.
Classy with a K.
16 minutes after 7. Let's check traffic right now. We do so thanks to Knowles Caravans. If you're looking for a new home for your old caravan, Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
At Christie's Beach, works on Dyson Road near Elgin Avenue affecting inbound, one lane closed, speeds at 40. Elizabeth Vale, power line works Main North Road near Blacktop Road heading outbound. And Plimpton works continue on Anzac Highway to Charles Street, one lane closed, speeds at 40 k's. Curra's Anzac Highway, Glenelg, Frederick Road at Grange. For a limited time, ABN holders can enjoy a 4.99% interest rate on GLC and GLE mid-size SUVs when you finance with Mercedes-Benz Financial. Ends April 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
With exceptional tech and off-road capability, plus a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, the Isuzu MU-X range is extraordinary. Hurry to your local Isuzu Ute dealer today. Go your own way. Want a golden egg this Easter? The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 lucky winners $50,000 each in our Easter Bonanza draws. Get your tickets by midnight tonight and you could make it an Easter to remember. Plus, your tickets stay in the draw for the ultimate $4 million grand prize in Henley Beach. Join the fight. Get your tickets today at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14166.
Next time you buy seafood from the deli section of your supermarket, ask them if they know who caught it. Oh wait, sorry, you can't, because they won't know. Unlike Kirkbride Seafood, they won't have the contact details of the person who caught it, what time it was caught, or where it was caught. I mean, you'd have to care a hell of a lot to go to those sorts of lengths. Lucky for you, Kirkbride Seafood do. Doothie Street, Unley. KirkbrideSeafood.com.au.
Fresh nuts, mouth-watering chocolates and eye-popping Easter gifts. G'day, I'm Brett Charlesworth and there are 3 irresistible reasons to include Charlesworth nuts on your Easter shopping list. If you're a connoisseur looking for the absolute best and freshest nuts and can taste the difference, then give us a try. Share them with your guests or give a Charlesworth Easter gift and watch their eyes light up. 11 family-owned South Aussie stores or shop online right now and get it delivered. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
Let me tell you about St Kilda Hotel. Legend has it, long before the Schnitties and St Kilda playground over there, this pub was a hideaway for the daring few who wanted a cold one after hours. A watchman kept lookout for cops, and this secluded little pub became a sanctuary for the few that knew about it. Still is. Good old school hospitality. Now you know. This table's waiting for you at St Kilda Hotel.
Hop into Cheapest Chips for an
excellent Easter.
Cheapest chips.
You'll love our yummy chocolate Easter bunnies and eggs. Whether your favourite is Violet Crumble, Fruit Chocks, or just plain old Chocky, there's something for everybody. Plus, don't miss our huge range of Easter toys, craft, decorations, and gift ideas, including Paw Patrol and Barbie boxed Easter gift sets. Cheapest Chips has everything you need for a happy cheapster. I mean, Easter. Live cheaper every day at Cheapest Chips.
We don't just say we're local. We are local. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Visit 202greenhill.com.au and donate to cancer accommodation, research, prevention and support this April.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
20 minutes after 7, we're broadcasting live from the Adelaide Central Market this morning, which is now the hive of activity. It's really picked up. Lots of people coming through, having breakfast at the Atlas Continental Cafe in front of us here, where we're broadcasting right throughout the morning. You can watch along live, of course, as well on the 5AA Facebook or YouTube live stream, where we're proudly partnering with Cancer Council SA. And we're joined right now at what is the usual, this is the cooking demonstration desk, I think, at the Central Market, by Jade Canane, the Market General Manager. Jodie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will and David. Lovely to have you here in the market this morning.
We are loving being here, Jodie. It's a fantastic spot. And we were saying before, I can't recall a time. Was there a hard closure here at the market in the last 2 years, or has it always stayed open because it's been an essential food service?
Absolutely. We had 2 days where we did close down while we worked through the process of remaining open. But through the whole rest of the 2 years, we have been open as an essential service, which is wonderful for our small businesses and traders, all the local suppliers and growers that come through the market, and of course for South Australians.
I've got to say, I've got such a huge love for this place because I grew up as a kid coming here, then all through uni worked at McMahon's Fruit and Veg. Best job I ever had, 5 years working there for Steph. G'day Steph, if you're listening. Hope you're well, mate. But it's such a community place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, and I think, like I said, because we've got that network of small businesses and traders, many that are multi-generational, and so many people that come through from the community have stories of growing and coming here with their parents when they were young and their grandparents, so it's lovely.
Yeah. Is your expectation today that the 2022 Easter Thursday is going to look like 2018 Easter Thursday? The airport are suddenly getting their back to reality moment today. What's your sort of volumes been like, and what are you expecting today over the weekend?
Yeah, certainly we are looking for a really big day today. Obviously, because the market holds all those traditional amazing Easter produce, particularly with the seafood, the prawns, the house-made hot cross buns, which you can really only get here at the market. So Easter Thursday's always been a traditionally strong day. I think people's habits have slightly changed from 2018, but I think people are now looking to come out, having an experience with the shop and getting some really amazing fresh produce at the same time. So it will be busy at the market today.
Well, I was saying before, how often have you had mates here from interstate and you bring them here and they go, my God, I've never seen anything like this anywhere else in Australia? Like, it is genuinely unique, isn't it?
That is one of my favourite things, when we have people from interstate who haven't been here before, and to watch them walk around the market, sights, smells, sounds, they are amazed that this market is even in Australia.
Yeah.
But I've also had some South Australians in recent times that haven't been able to come in the last year or so, who've come back into the market, and that sense of wonderment again, that this is here in our doorstep, this is here in our city, and there's just nothing like it.
Does it operate in a sense in its own ecosystem independent of the rest of the city? Because so much of the conversation about the city of Adelaide has been, how do we get people coming back? Do you have that problem here?
Look, we did it in January. It was a tough trade period in January because there wasn't as many CBD workers in the city. Yeah. We didn't have the normal tourists that we have and the students. So there is definitely an impact on the market when the city is not as vibrant as it was in January. But we have such a unique offer here that people travel and they do come in just for the market.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, it's been great. It's been great being back here after so long, and we've loved catching up with all the stallholders that we've spoken to already this morning, Jodie, and great catching up with you. We've been doing a lot of work around the early parking offer on Tuesdays as well, which has been great.
Yeah,
I think we're even making a video after the show.
That'd be great.
It's written in our contract. We're only meant to strictly work in a non-visual medium, but someone's going to film us today, chillingly.
Good luck to that person.
That'll be great. And this morning we've got kids' craft activities for the preschoolers. We've got a free market Easter trail. If you're looking for something to do after school with the kids, they can go around on the Easter trail and stop off and get some free produce at some of the stalls. And of course, we got live music today as well. So it's going to be a wonderful time. We're open till 7 p.m. tonight, and we're back on Saturday 7 till 3. So we really encourage everyone to come in and support our local traders.
Fantastic. Awesome. Great to have you down here, Jody, and it's good
Thanks,
being
Jody.
down here as well. Jody Kinane, the General Manager of the Adelaide Central Market. Let's turn our attention to sport. Rowie was off crook again last night, but it was an interesting chat Timmy G was having. Book your service online at North Point Toyota to win the cost back. It is the North Point way. He was talking about the bump and asking the question, is it time it was scrapped altogether in the AFL?
I think we're almost at the stage where you just have to say the bump is no more. Because trying to umpire it out and MRO it out, for me, is not working. So I think changing to palms or whatever, if you take bump as a whole, it's out. Because that's where they're going anyway. You might as well just make it clean and clear for the players.
Do you think the game loses anything if there is no bump?
Look, once upon a time, it was put in highlights packages. Do you remember the one the AFL did? I think it was called I'd Like to See That. Yep. And they got all the international stars to come in and show them highlights, and they went, whoa.
With no pads,
yeah,
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Well, it once was a promotion for the game. Now it's something that we know that causes bad head injuries, that we know causes issues down the track. So I think that's why we'll see it. And I think it's clean if you just say it's out.
It makes me instantly think of the concussion conversation had in the NFL in the United States, which is a few years ahead of us. One of the pieces of evidence in court that was put to, well, certainly was going to be considered, was the fact that they too had a promotional campaign based around people getting absolutely belted.
You could remember that ad. I had that song.
I totally remember
Unbelievable.
The ad, yeah.
You know that.
It was a great ad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was a great ad. And look, it was a part of footy, but it's just.
Well, can you remember? I can remember on late night advertising, like on the Bob Pachetti show and that in the 80s. They used to sell VHS tapes.
Yes.
The biggest hits of the 1970s. Yeah. And it was just blokes going around belting each other.
Yep.
And you could buy like a four VHS box set of people being rubbed out in acts of brutality playing VFL.
I think it's instructive looking to the other codes in the other sports as well, because they had the same conversation there. If we get rid of the hardness, no one's going to like the sport anymore. Well, guess what they did? There's a reason Tom Brady plays till 40 years of age now. It's because no one's trying. You can't hurt people.
So, absolutely.
And it's still popular, is what I'm saying. So
you know what I reckon the bigger issue in AFL is? I think only, you'd have to be an unreconstructed 1975 sort of macho man to be going, oh yeah, it's great when you can just lay a bloke flat out cold with a hip and shoulder. The real issue is not do we save the bump, but do we save the perfectly executed hard tackle?
That's becoming difficult, isn't it? Because or the body weight discrepancy where I'm way bigger than you, and so it becomes a sling.
Yeah,
even though the intent is exactly the same.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's a great question.
How often do you see great tackles go unrewarded?
Yeah, well, or they become now a free kick against.
Yeah.
But it's the most natural and organic part of the game. Mind you, I guess that's what people said about the bump, didn't they?
That's true.
So,
exactly.
Interesting conversation, and we're wishing, of course, Rowie all the best. Book your service online at North Point Toyota to win the cost back. It is the North Point way.
The original MasterChef winner, Julie Goodwin!
Julie's back.
Don't be nervous. It's like saying, don't be 51.
MasterChef, fans and favourites. Starts Easter Monday on 10.
Go big in the Nissan Patrol and get low monthly repayments with Nissan Future Value, the flexible way to finance your patrol. Contact your Nissan dealer to reserve your patrol today. Limited stock available. Approved private and ABN applicants. T's and C's apply.
If you have a personal alert system that relies on a landline and is connected to your NBN modem, it may not work during a power failure. Upgrade today for just $99. That's 75% off normal price. For more info, go to carealert.com.au.
I started with a name,
a town, a passenger list,
and that opened up a world of information.
There could be more to your story. Discover fascinating details about your ancestors' lives with a 14-day free trial at ancestry.com.au. Free trial terms apply.
G'day, it's Mark Bickley. When you buy a Leader computer, you're buying a computer made right here in Adelaide. You're dealing with people that live in Adelaide, and when it comes to servicing or support, it all happens here in Adelaide. Not overseas, not interstate. Unlike some others, Leader don't have to send anything off for repair. They take care of everything right here. It makes sense to live life local. Live life Leader. Leader Computers. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Hurry into Beaumont's huge DIY sale. Refresh your kitchen splashback for under $100. Update your outdoor pavers with 20% off and grab up to 60% off Manager's Easter specials. In-store only at your local Beaumont Tiles.
So, why go with NRG Solar?
My first contact with NRG Solar was through Michael. He had a look around the house, around the roof. We have particular problems with trees, so he assessed the situation, made some calculations, discussed the options with me. What I liked most about the visit was that Michael was prepared to explain things in simple language to us and look at the options and just basically being professional.
Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy, 28 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Physio Extra Marion have a hydrotherapy pool now on site. Contact Physio Extra Marion or head to physioextra.com.
Charges have been laid after a laser was pointed at a police aircraft. The chopper was targeted over the western suburbs just before 12:30 this morning. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says the crew notified patrols on the ground and a 48-year-old man from Semaphore Park was arrested.
He's been charged with really serious offences, including prejudice to safe operation of an aircraft and use or possess a prohibited weapon. He's been bailed and he'll appear in court in May.
The crowds at the airport this morning have been described as an Easter stampede. Staff are expecting their busiest day in 2 years as travelling ramps up ahead of the 4-day break and school holidays. Nine's Ollie Haig is there. He's told David and Will there might be a lot of people, but things are moving.
There was obviously big concern, given the staff shortages we're seeing around the country at the moment, what it would be like on security. But the great news is every single security lane at Adelaide Airport is open, which is about 6 or 7 lanes. So as soon as you get in through security, you're pretty much getting through straight away. So the only real queue you're experiencing at the moment is checking into your flight or dropping off your bag.
Police are warning they'll be out in force on the roads this long weekend. They've released a new road safety campaign urging drivers to think about their behaviour behind the wheel. Assistant Commissioner Ian Parrott is reminding people to pay attention this Easter.
Please, we just need you to be so careful on the roads, particularly if you're not experienced in driving on regional roads, and making sure that you stay safe on your roads, that you wear your seatbelt, you don't drink and drive, don't speed.
Today's unemployment numbers will put the Coalition's jobs mantra to the test as the Prime Minister shifts his election campaign to Tasmania. Michael Packey is travelling with Scott Morrison.
Unemployment is at a 50-year low of 4%. It's the figure opposition leader Anthony Albanese couldn't remember, and the government seized on a series of his economic stumbles. But the Prime Minister will be hoping the jobless rate hasn't bounced back up when the result for April is released. Some analysts believe the floods in parts of New South Wales and Queensland may have an impact. Mr Morrison will continue spruiking jobs here in Tasmania, where the Liberals are trying to hang on to 2 marginal seats and snatch a 3rd from Labor.
The Labor leader is setting his sights on New South Wales as he tours his 3rd state of the federal election campaign. Anthony Albanese has adopted a new approach to news conferences after a major economic stumble derailed his first 3 days on the road. The change in tactic was evident when Mr Albanese refused to answer more than 10 questions in Melbourne yesterday. And Beatles fans can now stay in George Harrison's childhood home. The new owner of the Liverpool property has turned it into an Airbnb rental. It also doubles as a museum dedicated to his favourite member of the Fab Four. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Sam Tugwell.
Thanks, Mel. Footy first, and round 5 kicks off tonight for Brisbane and Collingwood. Well, they'll face off at the Gabba. Meanwhile, it's selection night for everyone else. Port Adelaide are set to make at least one change, with Ollie Wines recovering from an irregular heartbeat. Key players Robbie Gray and Alir are in the mix to return, while defender Ryan Burton will line up for his 100th AFL game.
It's just great to be at Port Adelaide, playing my 100th. I grew up barracking for the club. I didn't expect to play my 100th for Port Adelaide. I thought I'd be over there in Melbourne, but I'm so grateful that I'm here.
At Westlakes, the Crows could shake things up with their team selections to face Richmond. Harry Schonberg could be dropped to find some form. Defender Brodie Smith told 5AA they're hoping to turn things around after their close loss to Essendon.
We've got to get that last kick. It's going to be really important on the weekend. They've got some guys that can mark a footy in their back line, and if we can move the ball, take the ball off the line and make their defence shift, and that'll go a long way to beating them, because if you give them a chance, they're very good going the other way.
To tennis, Alex de Minaur has been knocked out in the round of 32 at Indian Wells this morning. However, didn't make it easy for world number 8 Andrei Rublev. After winning the first set, the Aussie gave it everything but fell short against the Russian.
He's done it. Andrei Rublev will breathe an almighty sigh of relief. Too much points had come and gone. It was threatening to get ugly. Eventually finds a way to cross the finish line.
And in UEFA Champions League this morning, Liverpool and Manchester City have progressed to the semi-finals. And that's 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Looking for a new home for your old caravan? Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
At West Hindmarsh, look out for works this morning. Port Road near South Road is as you're heading outbound. Speeds reduced with one lane out of action today. Speeds also reduced at Myrtle Bank for the intersection upgrade of Glen Osmond Road and Fullerton Road. Gets pretty busy throughout the morning. And Christie's Beach works on Dyson Road near Elgin Avenue, affecting inbound. One lane also closed and speeds at 40 k's. Busy South Road near Richmond Road and got a camera at Main Road Belair. Beaumont's Clearance Outlet at Richmond. Open Sundays with genuine clearance tiles by the box or pallet. Beaumont's Richmond. You'll be happy you chose Beaumont's Clearance. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 winners $50,000 in their Easter draws. Ends midnight Thursday.
Partly cloudy, 28 today, partly cloudy tomorrow, 28, Saturday sunny and 30. Right now it's 20. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Visit 202greenhill.com.au and donate to cancer accommodation, research, prevention and support this April.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
23 minutes to 8. John Blake coming up before 8 o'clock. We are live at the Adelaide Central Market, and you can watch along from the comfort of your own home, or you can come down and say hi. If you're watching from home, you can do so via the Facebook or YouTube live stream, proudly partnering with Cancer Council SA. And if you are, you'll note we've been joined at the cooking demonstration desk at the Central Market here by, I want to go to the chef of Spin or something or other. I can't quite make it work. But the man himself, Matt Abraham, joins us thanks to your local Mitre 10, friendly service, expert advice, quality brands at great prices. That's mighty helpful. Mitre 10. Oh, yes. Good morning to you, Matt.
Good morning. Good
How are
morning.
you,
Sorry,
Matt?
there's a little box there we have to pull. I'm well, how are you?
I see.
I was going to wear a full hazmat suit in here with you two today, but I decided not to.
No, we're in the clear now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think I'm super immune.
Will's super immune.
I'm super immune.
Yeah.
In fact, you should sit closer
Super
to
Will.
me. Oh, yeah, that's right. I want a T-shirt made. No COVID here.
Don't speak too soon. It is possible to get it. No, but you won't.
But we're just not in quick succession.
I know, that's right.
Yeah.
12 weeks you've got, isn't it?
That's what they say. That's what they say. I'm going to use every day of those 12 weeks. It feels like we're 12 weeks into the federal election campaign. We'll talk with you about that in just a moment. But we've got some state politics to talk about because the Liberals might finally, at some point soon, get a leader.
Yes, next week. So they've got, at this stage, 3 to choose from. Nick McBride from the southeast down Mount Gambier Way, Josh Teague from the Adelaide Hills, and David Spears from the southern suburb seat, former Environment Minister, who announced his candidacy yesterday. David Spears had a crack at, you may recall, Tom Kutsentonis, and it reminds me of that. Do you know that cartoon of this eagle coming down on the mouse, and the mouse is giving the eagle a finger? That was sort of David Spears was the mouse. I'm thinking, don't do that to Tom Kutsentonis. Look, don't annoy him. You don't need to do that. Not that Tom holds a grudge, mind you, but so David Spears has said it's quite interesting because he said I can unite the party and lead it to victory in 4 years' time, and then in the process started talking about we've got to put behind us the old dynasties and the landed gentry and all this sort of stuff. And I'm reading this thinking, well, they're the people you've got to unite.
Yeah,
well, they haven't gone. They're the ones who survived this election.
There's not that many who need to be united.
That's right.
Given what happened, and 9 seats they lost the other day, but. It's interesting that both Josh Teague, son of Baden Teague, isn't he, the former federal Liberal senator, and Nick McBride from down the southeast, flying totally under the radar. As far as I can tell, they haven't made any public statements. So it's kind of hard to get a bead on what the internals are at the moment. But everybody seems to be saying that David Spears is very much the front runner, and that he's going to get support from both the moderate and the conservative factions of the party. But who knows what happens inside the party room though on Tuesday?
You don't know. And the word is, and like he's rejected the suggestion, the word is that Vicky Chapman, former Attorney General, former Deputy Premier, won't work with David Spears. Now, she hasn't said that. He's said that he'd find a place for her. But the language is so interesting in this because he said, she'd have a place, but then he said Ashton Hearn, who's a freshly minted MP with no parliamentary experience at all, former media advisor to the Premier, and very much a moderate pick in her seat they parachuted her into. She'd definitely be, a shadow minister. And I thought to myself, what are you all fighting over here?
The spoils of defeat, as Don Dunstan used to say.
I think 16 of them.
You get the bigger office there in Parliament House, I guess.
Well, yeah. If you're leader, you get that's you want that.
You get the driver still, I think.
Oh yeah, I think you get all that.
No, you're right.
It's worth having.
Vicky Chapman's an interesting one. You say, well, what did you make of her tweet yesterday?
Yeah.
So she hasn't tweeted anything at all since early December. Yeah. And it's not hard to trace the timeline of why that is. She tweeted this yesterday. From the public perspective, entirely unprompted, where she said, in 2006, when running for deputy, a senior MP said he couldn't support me because I was too young and experienced. I was 48, had 20 plus years running my own legal practice, a barrister, the party's president, and sat on boards. Can't help but reflect on that conversation now.
Yeah. Now, somebody just reading that in isolation will think, well, what's that about?
Yeah.
What do you mean, can't help but reflect? Now, that's obviously, I think, a dig at David Spears.
Yes.
And justifiably, actually, because sure, Vicky Chapman is in many ways a lightning rod for the Conservatives because of she's a leading moderate, but she was a very powerful part of the Stephen Marshall government, and I think he really missed her presence during the election campaign because she's a rigorous person. She's one of those people, she doesn't look frivolous. She's a woman. That's novelty for
party Conservatives. Matt would say she was one of his weaknesses too, though, and that one of the big things that stuffed the party internally last year was the manner in which they handled those Christian memberships, people who wanted to join the Liberal Party who were upset by her championing of late-term abortion and euthanasia laws, and that she became a flashpoint on the other side of the party for that type of hostility. I mean, the fact that she's tweeting stuff, and the fact that this is all in the public domain, and David Spears, certainly with Kutsentonis, whipping it up as much as he can, the fact that all of this is already kicking around publicly doesn't augur well for the new mood of unity, does it?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And I don't think, I still don't think the enormity of a loss has descended on them. I really don't. I think there's a lot of denial still. There's a lot of anger.
Well, that's because they're used to it. The culture of the parties, they're used to losing. There's no enormity. This is what happens.
Years of practice.
Might be a better.
That's cruel.
No need to panic. We've been here before.
Let's go. What do we go back to Playford for a good run? Let's talk about the federal sphere, because that's one where the Liberals have had a better week. Let's say Anthony Albanese had a shocker. We haven't heard what your thoughts are on the unemployment rate and interest rate or cash rate target. Was
target cash rate. Of course, we all know that.
Yes,
0.1 was on the top of my head. I've actually watched the whole press conference, and the run up to when he couldn't name the unemployment rate. Put aside the cash rate, the unemployment rate's a big thing. When he couldn't name that, he was being pressed by a journalist and about why won't you confront these questions. So he's obviously beforehand sort of fobbed them off. And then he said, look, I'll take any questions. And he threw to quite a senior journalist whose first question was, well, what is the unemployment rate? And that, if you've ever seen someone sort of politically die live to air on telly, that was it. And I've written my Sunday Mail column this week on the gotcha question, not surprisingly, but I'm a great defender of the gotcha questions. I know listening to you guys coming in, I'm thinking, oh, this is not going to go over well.
You're the master of it in this town.
As you're bagging it. But I think they have a place. I think they've got a place in the armoury. I think they were fair questions to Anthony Albanese, who I don't reckon he's travelling very well. I don't know there's something not right.
Well, it looks like
Anthony
the
Albanese.
big risk, and Peter Credlin wrote about this morning in the Oz, he could just lose his confidence. And there's a great line Muhammad Ali used after the rumble in the jungle when he beat George Foreman, and he said, I just want to stay out there long enough for him to get tired. And then he said, and I tell you, the ring, hell of a place to get tired. And same's true of the middle of an election campaign, where if Albo suddenly looks like, because normally he's quite knockabout and a vunt killer, and Will and I have spoken to him dozens of times on the show, but if every time the cameras are turned on and the journos start talking, he looks like he's about to have a panic attack, then he's stuffed.
Yeah. It's interesting, Phil Curry, who was on your program yesterday, I love him, listening to him, mainly because he's a cousin, but but he's got a story in the Fin Review this morning. They've done focus group research. Now, normally this is what political parties do, but the Fin Review's done an Ipsos poll focus group research, and this really is quite an incredible campaign in that neither leader, people don't like either of them, but they see Anthony Albanese as sort of dull and a bit insipid. And Scott Morrison, it's like the devil you know. Yeah. And I think this is going to be very dangerous for Labor. I mean, on the polls, they should win this election. But if it comes down to the two leaders and whether people like them or not, because there's not a lot of big policy at play, then I think they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. We always have fun with this segment, but I think it's going to be even more fun over the next 5 weeks or so. It's time for Spin of the Week.
9 to 10 out of 10 every time.
Okay, now this was Adam Bant. You've played this grab earlier, driving in. This is Adam Bant, leader of the Greens, and he was asked the wage price index, which I think we all know. But anyway, this is his response.
And just very quickly, talking of abject fact-checking exercises, you said in the speech that wages growth wasn't going particularly well. What's the current WPI?
Google it, mate. Well, Google it, mate. Yeah. This is what we've got to start doing, Googling everything. I am going to give him the current wage price index for my mighty Mitre 10, which is, this is of course seasonally adjusted.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you.
And we all know it rose to 0.7%, so I'm giving him 2.3.
That's good.
That's a barbecue stopper.
That's an excellent score. I've already forgotten it. Your local Mitre 10, friendly service, expert advice, quality brands at great prices. That's mighty helpful. Mitre 10. Good on you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
For a minute, I thought Spin of the Week might be the Premier of South Australia. But
who's here?
Because he's just wandered in. I thought, this could be a really awkward sort of a moment. But we might have to engineer that next week. He's going to join us in just a moment. Let's check traffic first. Looking for a new home for your old caravan? Well, Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
At Christie's Beach, works on Dyson Road near Elgin Avenue, affecting inbound, one lane closed, speeds at 40. Elizabeth Vale, power line works on Main North Road near Blacktop Road, heading outbound, and Plimpton works on Anzac Highway near Charles Street, heading inbound, one lane closed, speeds at 40. Busy, West Terrace near Sir Donald Brabham Drive with cameras Anzac Highway, Glenelg, Main Road, Belair. Entries for your chance to leave mortgage free for a year, close soon. See an Aussie broker today. For full T's and C's, visit aussie.com.au. Australian credit licence 246786. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Want a golden egg this Easter? The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 lucky winners $50,000 each in our Easter Bonanza draws. Get your tickets by midnight tonight and you could make it an Easter to remember. Plus, your tickets stay in the draw for the ultimate $4 million grand prize in Henley Beach. Join the fight. Get your tickets today at homelottery.com.au. Licence M141166.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
When you need a forklift, don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Get the world's #1 forklift brand. Get legendary Toyota reliability, get world-leading safety, and get it from toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage for sales, service, and hire.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Now, you all know that I love my local Mitre 10.
Oh, yeah.
I was lucky. I went there before being incarcerated in the house, and I stocked up on all my landscape needs. So it meant that when I was at home not having the coronavirus, I could do all the stuff around the garden. They've got everything you need at your local Mitre 10, whether it's something that needs to be fixed indoors or there's jobs to do outside or in the garden. Mitre 10 is sure to have everything that you need.
So if you're planning on some DIY jobs or being incarcerated in your own home over Easter, well, maybe you just need to do some tidy up. Your local Mitre 10 is open this long weekend to help you get things sorted.
And look, shopping with Mitre 10 just got a whole lot sweeter. Simply spend $50 or more in store and you will score a bonus pack of hot cross buns.
So pop into your local Mitre 10 today, grab the gear you need along with expert advice from their friendly team, and don't forget to pick up your hot cross buns.
A big happy Easter from the team at Mitre 10, open this Easter long weekend. Check your local store for trading hours. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Do you know how protective your face mask really is? Is it PPE Tech protected? PPE Tech manufactures tight-fitting P2 certified face masks. That means they're proven to filter more than 98% of particles. And better yet, they're made right here in Australia. Right now, get free delivery and save up to 40% off disposable P2 face masks. Don't settle for anything less than Australian-made PPE Tech P2 face masks. Order online at ppetech.com.au today. ppetech.com.au.
Thousands of people have walked through the stunning Beechwood display home at Blackwood Park. Some of those people several times because it's just that good. But your time is running out. It's just been sold. From April, the home will be closed. But fear not, because now you can go behind the scenes of a Beechwood home while under construction. You'll get an incredible insight into what makes Beechwood homes an SA favourite. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube.
Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die.
Help create a home for South Australians impacted by cancer. Visit 202greenhill.com.au.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
8 to 8, you never know who you're going to bump into at the Adelaide Central Market. The Premier of South Australia, Peter Malinauskas, has just wandered up to the demonstration kitchen table that is working as the studio this morning. Premier, good morning to you.
Morning, Will. Good morning, Dave.
So if you had to cook a dish here, Premier, what have you got a go-to dish? Are you handy in the kitchen?
I love the meat. Like I don't mind doing roasts, and I get my Weber out every now and then. I haven't so much lately, obviously, but I don't so much have a go-to dish as so much a go-to side dish. So I say with a degree of caution, and I've largely mastered the roast potato. I've got a very particular method that I've been working on. Because nothing beats a good roasted potato. An absolute belter.
What's your cooking agent? Is it olive oil? Or
olive oil.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Rosemary?
Has to be good olive oil. Yeah, a little bit of rosemary.
Sea salt?
Sea salt, but you've got to... it's the boiling... The timing of the boiling and the type of the potato that I think is the key. So, you know the Crestal potatoes with the purple dots?
Yeah.
They're the ones that I'm into. But you've got to pre-wash them properly and boil them properly. And that's my thing.
Quick cooking demo.
It's nice to see so many people at the Central Market here today. It's just fantastic ahead of the Easter long weekend. It's going to be the last day we possibly see so many of the people wandering around wearing masks as well. Obviously, the mandate ends at midnight tonight. You were wearing yours as you winded up a short time ago. There's still holdouts, though. We got a tweet. I want to show you a tweet from Pamela, who sent it to us when we were talking about the mask mandate ending a short time ago, saying, COVID's not over, coronavirus likes this, talking about these sorts of restrictions being eased. What would you say to those people that are still very uneasy about the prospect that things are changing?
Look, keep wearing a mask if you want to. And this is the thing, what we're doing is providing people choice as of midnight tonight, and for those South Australians that are understandably still cautious, and for good reason, there is absolutely no reason why they can't elect to wear a mask whenever they want. And certainly Nick Aspiria has been keen to pass on that message, and as am I. But I do think we've got to graduate to a point as we start to see the hospitalisation rate largely remain stable, just hovering above 200 at the moment. Case numbers looking like we're down around about 900 or 800 where we were at the same time last week. So as we see this, we've got to graduate to a new sense of normality, and I've been very keen to get us on a page of national consistency. We know that other states got rid of masks some time ago. I made it pretty clear after I got elected that I wanted to be on the same page with the rest of the country to the extent that we can, and we're now in a position to do that.
Can I ask you, Premier, you've just run what even your opponents on the other side are now grudgingly describing as a faultless election campaign. How do you think federal Labor's going at the end of week one?
What are elections about? Are they about gaffes and mishaps? Are they about single moments in campaigns? I don't know. I like the idea that election campaigns are about alternate ideas and alternate policies for the nation. And I hope that's what governed the last election campaign. I hope it's what governs this federal election campaign and sets the country up for the future. So, look, I understand there is always acute media interest when leaders don't have a good day. And
have you ever had a moment like that? Have you ever? Because I know journos can be deeply annoying. I'm sure we've annoyed you a couple of times.
Never, Dave. Never,
no,
mate.
have you ever had a moment though where you've been surrounded by all these faces and the lights are on you, and the questions invariably everyone's trying to shout over the top of each other?
Yeah.
Is it an intimidating environment?
Yeah, it is, because you know that one little slip-up or one big moment could capture the whole story and overtake the message that you're trying to project. So, that's why you've got to put in the preparatory work. And look, seasoned politicians, and Anthony Albanese is one of them, doesn't need advice from me. I just think that hopefully the election campaign is all about the ideas, the policies, because that's what really matters at the end of the day when we go up to 30,000 feet and we start thinking about what we want for the future of the country. And we've got obviously got a few weeks to go yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for popping in.
Good to see you, fellas. It's good to be here. It's a good vibe.
Have a good Easter.
Cheers.
All right, it's 4 minutes to 8 and time to wrap the week with John Blake, thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, Interstate Freight Distribution Warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 13 64.
Well, this week the federal election campaign got underway, and Anthony Albanese, who's the leader of the opposition, tripped up badly with his lack of knowledge concerning unemployment and interest rates.
A man talked to me in the street. He said, "What's the current unemployment rate?" I'm not good with figures. I said, "That question's just too hard. I might have blown my opportunity. Be Prime Minister of this country. Don't want to end up on the backbench of the political graveyard. Bone dead,
just go straight
bone dead. I just want my time in the lodge, not a roly-poly little fat-faced guy they call ScoMo. I don't sound like a statesman. I don't find being in opposition amusing anymore. Politics is bloody hard. Sometimes you have low morale. Some say I'm not ready, and if your name is Blind Freddy, you can call me Albo. They door-stopped me in the street and said, "Why did I screw up so bad?" I said something stupid about Taylor Swift. I thought I might appeal to younger folks so they'd start chanting Albo, Albo. Otherwise there's no doubt I'll be gone, gone. Then a new leader will come along, and who's it gonna be? Tanya Blair, Berserko, Penny Wong, Wong. No more incidents and accidents. I'm studying the figures now. Politics is bloody hard. Sometimes you have low morale. Some say I'm not ready, and if your name is Blind Freddy, you can call me Albo.
Good on you, Albo. Also this week, the Denny Varnhagen case went back to court, and Professor Nicola Spurrier was there to testify. Also, there was a contingent of protesters yelling and screaming and threatening the professor like something was her fault, which meant it then became something that was no longer a legal protest.
Why are you in so much hurry to make yourselves look really silly? Bunch of clowns hanging round. What's it like to be a fruit bat? Do you also think the earth's flat? Take a pill a CT scan. Morons, you don't have much to say. You may as well dress like the Ku Klux Klan.
They should be ashamed of themselves, quite frankly. Professor Spurrier has done an outstanding job, and I think she deserves credit and respect for that.
You don't understand, you can have your say, but threats and harassments are not okay. I know you don't care, 'cause your brains have gone stale, but you're lucky you didn't end up going to jail. Morons, your brains have gone away. They wouldn't show up on a CT scan. Morons, you don't have much to say. You may as well dress like the Ku Klux Klan.
Right on 8 o'clock, 5AA News is coming up. The Assistant Police Commissioner is going to join us in just a moment. Last time we were at the Central Markets and the police paid us a visit, we got into trouble. Yes. So everybody just check your credentials. Let's make sure we're doing the right thing. And
make sure you got your alibis ready.
We'll either have breaking at 8 or, I don't know, a ticket
jailing at 8.
Coming up next.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy, 28 today with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
Woken with a stiff neck or sore back? Get a Physio Extra appointment today. 6 locations, physioextra.com.
A man's been busted allegedly pointing a laser at the police helicopter. The chopper was targeted just before 12:30 this morning in the western suburbs. The 48-year-old from Semaphore Park was arrested a short time later. He's been charged and will front court next month. A Mazda 6 went up in flames at Semaphore Park in the early hours of this morning. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says the fire on West Street was reported just after 2:30.
The fire was extinguished, but the car was completely destroyed, and it appears a fire started in the cabin of the Mazda 6. We are treating it as suspicious, and crime scene investigators will attend and examine the vehicle this morning.
Adelaide Airport is very busy this morning as thousands opt to travel this Easter. There are already long queues at check-in. Michaela Kamarik has the details.
It's estimated 25,000 people will pass through the terminal today and again tomorrow. It's said to be the busiest period since the pandemic began as people head away for Easter and school holidays. Delays are expected with COVID and close contact rules impacting staff numbers. With that in mind, passengers are being urged to arrive early or risk missing their flight, and people are being reminded masks will still need to be worn in the terminal and during their flight.
But this time tomorrow, masks will no longer be required in many indoor areas. Some people are nervous given COVID case numbers are still in excess of 4,000 a day. Premier Peter Malinauskas says it's a personal choice.
Keep wearing a mask if you want to. What we're doing is providing people choice as of midnight tonight, and for those South Australians that are understandably still cautious, and for good reason, there is absolutely no reason why they can't elect to wear a mask whenever they want.
Australia's rental market is returning to pre-pandemic levels. Domain's quarterly rent report found the median house rent is $508 a week, and Canberra is the most expensive city. Domain's Dr Nicola Powell says with interest rates forecast to rise this year, rentals are likely to be more expensive.
The overall costs of everything is rising. We've got strong levels of inflation. We've got the expectation that interest rates are going to rise sooner. That does increase the cost for a landlord, and we know that, when costs rise, they generally are passed on to a tenant.
More than 250 people have died in severe flooding in parts of South Africa. The BBC's Shingai Noka reports from Durban.
Efforts are continuing to try to locate people who have been reported missing. Search teams report being overwhelmed. Bridges and roads have been swept away and homes buried under the deluge in the worst storm in decades. Hundreds of people have been left without food and shelter, and several areas are without water and power. Durban, Sub-Saharan Africa's largest port, is the worst affected. Shipping there has been suspended. Mr. Ramaphosa said the province would be declared an official disaster area to allow the national government to redirect more resources.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderol.com.au.
And it's over to Sam Tugwell.
Thanks, Mel. The Crows AFLW team will crown their club champion tonight as their celebrations continue for their third premiership in 6 years. Ebony Marinoff and Anne Hatchard, most notably, are both eyeing off a second golden jacket after strong seasons. While for the men, a number of changes have been hinted at for the Crows game on Saturday against the Tigers, including Harry Schonberg, who faces the axe. In addition, Matthew Nix, the coach, has also hit back at criticism that his side lacks on-field identity.
Internally, we have a DNA that we're looking to put out on the track. Are we doing it consistently at the moment? No. We've been challenged. We've stood up under those challenges and really been hard to play against. We were able to stick in the game and fight it out, which is, that's part of the DNA we're looking to produce.
Meanwhile, help is on the way for Port Adelaide as they're set to welcome back key personnel for their Round 5 clash against the Blues. Ali Alir and Robbie Gray are likely to return, while according to the Powers' Ryan Burton, their number one ruck Scott Lysette is pushing his case to return from a shoulder dislocation.
When I hear dislocation, it doesn't usually sound pretty good. He just wants to play. He wants to be out there for us. He'll do everything he can to get right.
In Super Netball last night, the Adelaide Thunderbirds went down in a cliffhanger at home, falling short 45-44 to the Swifts. And in soccer, the Liverpool team have returned to the Champions League semi-finals for the first time since being crowned winners in 2019. They overcame Benfica with a 3-3 draw this morning, while Man City also progressed to the semis. They'll take on Real Madrid. That's 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Looking for a new home for your old caravan? Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
At Jebbs Cross, there's a smash on Bryans Road near Grand Junction Road. That's as you're heading inbound, causing delays. Christie's Beach works on Dyson Road near Elgin Avenue, affecting inbound. Got one lane closed there, speeds at 40. And Plimpton works continue on Anzac Highway near Charles Street. That's as you're heading inbound, one lane out of action. That'll get pretty busy throughout the morning. Busy at the moment, West Terrace near Sir Donald Brabham Drive with cameras, Kennahan's Road, Happy Valley, Main Road at Belair. Settle in for a movie night at home with Channing Tatum and the heartwarming comedy Dog. Critics have labelled it one of the year's must-see movies. Fast track to your home and available now to buy or rent on digital. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 winners $50,000 in their Easter draws. Ends midnight Thursday.
Partly cloudy today, 28. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 28. And then sunny and up to 30 degrees on Saturday. Right now it's 20. More news as it happens on 5AA.
The original MasterChef winner, Julie Goodwin!
Julie's back.
Don't be nervous. It's like saying, don't be 51.
MasterChef, fans and favourites. Starts Easter Monday on 10.
G'day, it's Jared for Wayville Mitsubishi. The iconic Wayville Australian Motors Mitsubishi showroom on Goodwood Road is going through an incredible rebuild, but the sales and service centre are still open. Same location, different entrance. Right now you'll need to enter via Goodwood Road for sales and via Davenport Lane for service. Looking for a new Mitsi or servicing your existing car? Get in touch with the amazing team at Wayville Mitsubishi opposite the showgrounds. Driven by Australian Motors. LVD 80.
G'day, what you looking at? Shh. Quiet. Oh, what you looking at?
Oh, well, isn't it obvious? It's remarkable. The detail and finish of Michelangelo with the raw beauty of Monet. I've never seen anything like it.
I have. I've got one at home. Driving it every day.
What? What do you mean? That's ridiculous.
It's an exposed aggregate driveway. Beautiful.
Right, who's the artist?
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round.
Hanging for a European holiday? Like a culinary tour of Italy. REA Travel can get you there. And into a Tuscan village. Into a market on the Amalfi Coast. And at a long table feast with the Italian locals. Explore a whole new world of offers with amazing holiday packages to Europe, the UK and beyond. Book the overseas holiday you've been waiting for with REA Travel. Speak to the travel experts in-store or visit the REA Travel website. And
keep on moving on.
We don't just say we're local. We are local. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Help create a home for South Australians impacted by cancer. Visit 202greenhill.com.au.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
8 minutes after 8, we're broadcasting live from the Adelaide Central Market. If you were just watching along on the 5AA Facebook or YouTube live stream, proudly partnering with Cancer Council SA, and you're a lip reader, you may well have deduced what the MasterChef recipe is that David's been giving you ingredients and leading towards. We're giving away $2,500 cash this hour on the program, thanks to MasterChef Fans v Favourites. It's back on Monday night at the Central Market, which is always fun, sometimes more fun than others. And one time we had a lot of fun, David.
Too much fun.
The police paid us a visit. And
rightly so.
When the Acting Police Commissioner, Linda Williams, wandered over, and I thought maybe just wandering past to do some, shopping. No, coming to see us directly. I got to say,
not for the first time.
Cold sweat. Commissioner, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Yeah, well,
we're good.
You tell us.
Well, I was listening this morning, and I did hear David call me the bad cop, and I was very sad to hear that.
I meant it as a compliment, though. You were the one who was going to get results on the day.
Oh, I do remember that morning. It was quite funny when we walked in and we saw you with the alcohol. It was like, oh no.
I know, and it's a reminder too for those playing at home that the ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Yes.
I didn't realise you needed a liquor licence to give margaritas away to people first thing in the morning, but it's life's a learning experience.
Yeah, there's no such thing as kindness.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us about Grant Stevens' state at the moment? Because I understand he's battling a bit with the flu.
Sure. So he's slowly getting better, but he's still quite ill. Started with the flu. It's gone into a severe lung infection. He's got a bit of fluid on the lungs. It's quite painful. So he's taking his time to get better, and we hope that he'll be back next week.
He's had a rough try, hasn't he? Because he had COVID at the start of the year. He's had the bicycle accidents over the last couple of years. But yeah, if the Commissioner is listening, he's our thoughts are with him, because we always love having him on the show. And part of it too, it's been a huge couple of years for you guys, hasn't it, in your line of work? Like the amount of unforeseen stuff, like it's not like the criminals have all taken a holiday. We have plenty of crime stories every morning when we catch up with our great friends from Police Media. But on top of that, a huge logistical challenge with COVID.
It has, and look, the effort of all of our staff has been fantastic. At times we've had 600 people on COVID-related duties. We're scaling that back. We're returning to police to the front line, but they're fatigued, they're weary, probably a bit like the Commissioner is. And I think everyone's a bit susceptible then when your immune system's down and you've also had COVID. And then we're like every other industry. We're affected by people who've put COVID positive in close contacts.
Yeah.
So that's taking out about 300 of our staff at the moment. So it has an impact on those who are left doing the job. It's a little bit harder, but crime doesn't go away, you're right. There was a little bit of a dip when we had the less movement around, but it's returning back to pre-2020 levels in terms of our workload. So it's a fantastic effort by everybody, but there is a little bit of fatigue out there, and we're very well aware of that.
Yeah.
You got a message for people on roads and as they get around ahead of the Easter long weekend?
Yeah, look, I just say to people, be really careful. Get to your destination in one piece. You want to be with your family, come home in one piece. We know that a lot of people do country travel, and they're on unfamiliar roads, and they just need to take their time. Make sure they take lots of breaks. Don't get tired. Don't get complacent, and just be careful when you're overtaking it. Just just look after yourself.
Acting Commissioner, great to have you here.
No worries. Thank you. Have a great Easter, guys.
Yeah, you too. Thanks very much, Linda Williams.
That's Acting Police Commissioner Linda Williams in Grant Stevens' absence at the moment, and we're certainly wishing him all the best. We are at the Central Market, which means we do get to talk to some of the great characters and food stalls at the markets, and one of those is, of course, Barossa Fine Foods. Alex Knoll has just made his way up to the desk. Alex, good morning to you, mate.
Great to see you, Alex. You guys have become a food juggernaut in South Australia, haven't you? Because now part of the Angelakis group as well.
Yeah. About sort of 3.5 years ago now, we took over Angelakis, which is a bit of a shift to making sausages all day. But we've settled in quite nicely, and I think we're doing really well.
So Easter, obviously, people think seafood. There might be a few heathens lining up to buy sausages today, but overwhelmingly, the majority of people, even people like me who aren't particularly religious, out of a traditional sense, it's all about the whiting, the prawns tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's funny. Christmas is busy, but then Easter is even busier with a lot more of the fillet fish. Absolutely. So, Christmas traditionally is a lot more about the oysters and the prawns and the crayfish.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Easter, people want to see sort of whole plate fish and their fillet fish for Good Friday.
You've been the one political holdout in your family. Do you reckon that'll continue?
Absolutely. I I joke with the rest of the family that I'm probably the smart one out of the group. I keep my nose pretty dry, so nothing to worry about there. Don't worry.
So what's the family relationship? So Stefan is
he's my brother.
He's your brother,
Yep. He's the second eldest. We disowned him for a little while, but he's back in the fold, back in the team.
He'd be the leader of the party if he was still there right now.
Well, look,
So is he out the back shucking oysters these days?
Well, no, he's found other things to do, surprisingly. We were a little bit worried that he was interested in coming back, but the good thing is he's found some other things to do. So.
Good man. Thanks for the fish tray today as well. We really appreciate it. Angelakis supporting the seafood tray, which is a tradition of ours each and every Easter long weekend broadcast. And so we've got a lot of great listeners that have contributed to our segment on that this morning, and that'll go a long, long way. All the best for the day.
Yeah, thanks. Look, I hope everybody enjoys their families getting together and just sharing some beautiful South Australian produce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good on you, man. You guys are absolute champions of that, and are rightfully well supported. And long may it continue. Great to have you here.
Good on you, Alex. Thanks, mate.
It was Alex Canole, Rossifine Foods, and now Angelakis Brothers as well. It's 14 minutes after 8. We've got a breaking at 8?
No.
Okay, let's go to traffic then. So there we go. Bit of live action stuff there.
I forgot. It's hard to juggle all these things logistically when we're sitting here on bar stools opposite Zoomer's Cafe.
We've got a little TV screen.
I've got one, but I'm saving it
we
for
can
next
see
Tuesday.
back live to the studio, but it got knocked over a short time ago. So
that's right.
I don't know what's going on at times. Let's check traffic then. Looking for a new home for your old caravan? Noel's Caravans, pay cash or can sell on consignment.
At Jeb's Cross, smash on Bryans Road near Grand Junction Road as you're heading inbound. Christie's Beach works on Dyson Road near Elgin Avenue affecting inbound, one lane closed, speeds at 40. And Plimpton works continue Anzac Highway near Charles Street heading inbound, one lane closed, speeds reduced. Busy West Terrace near Sir Donald Brabham Drive with cameras Frederick Road Grange, Main Road Belair. Harris Scarf stock take sale is on now. Save big across homewares, Manchester clothing and underwear. That's great brands at great stock take prices. Only at Harris Scarf on now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Finance your new Navara with Nissan Future Value. Low monthly repayments available and a guaranteed future value, so you can upgrade more often. Visit your Nissan dealer today. Approved private and ABN applicants only. T's and C's apply.
Fresh nuts, mouth-watering chocolates and eye-popping Easter gifts. G'day, I'm Brett Charlesworth and there are 3 irresistible reasons to include Charlesworth nuts on your Easter shopping list. If you're a connoisseur looking for the absolute best and freshest nuts and can taste the difference, then give us a try. Share them with your guests or give a Charlesworth Easter gift and watch their eyes light up. 11 family-owned South Aussie stores or shop online right now and get it delivered. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
The Fish Factory want to wish you all a happy Easter, and if fresh seafood is always a feature of your Easter feasts, make sure you check out the Fish Factory.
The Fish Factory process their fish direct from the fishing boats. You can't get fresher fish unless you actually eat it on a boat.
It's crayfish season. Buy it live or get it freshly cooked in the shop at a special Easter price.
And what about the range? They've got SA West Coast oysters, absolutely superb, best oysters in the world. They're freshly opened on the premises. Also SA King prawns, either cooked or green. And for the barbie, they've got whole fish like barramundi, kingfish, Atlantic salmon and more. So if you're short on time, you can also instead choose freshly filleted fish and frozen produce.
So you'll find it all at the Fish Factory, fully South Australian owned and family run for over 40 years. Visit the Fish Factory on Grand Junction Road, Athol Park, open Monday to Saturday 8 till 5:30, including Good Friday, closed Easter Monday.
Don't miss the Harris Scarf Big Stock Take Clearance. Store-wide, we're clearing out kitchenware, homewares and fashion at Harris Scarf. Up to 30% off all electrical, up to 40% off all clothing, underwear and footwear, and up to a massive 60% off all homewares in Manchester. Hurry, head in store or online now with click and collect in just 2 hours. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Exclusions apply. See in-store or online for details. Sale ends Sunday 17th of April 2022.
For over 38 years, Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth a trip. And right now, Steinborners are the place to go for top dollar on your trade-in. They will do any trade, and this month they are offering a further $1,500 bonus on all trade-ins. So go out to one of Steinborner's 8 locations for Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Ford and SA's best range of used cars. View all their used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth a trip.
We don't just say we're local. We are local. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Visit 202greenhill.com.au and donate to cancer accommodation, research, prevention and support this April.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
18 minutes after 8, live from the Adelaide Central Market on this Thursday morning ahead of the Easter long weekend. You can watch along on the 5AA Facebook or YouTube live stream, proudly partnering with Cancer Council SA. And if you do, you'll note we've been joined at the desk by the Dude, thanks to Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer based right here in Adelaide.
I'm the Dude, so that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or Duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
19 minutes after 8, we were talking this morning that it's sort of it's like those ink block tests for people's personality, the Crows season thus far, Rorschach tests I think they're called, where you can look at it and say you're a goal away from 0-4, but you're a goal or two away from being 3-1 by the same token. Yep. How do you see it?
I sort of flipped between each, I suppose. After the Port game, it was, hey, we're one kick away from being 2-1 and then up the ladder. And then after the last game, it was the same thing. But then you sort of, I don't know, you go through different stretches because when you watch the vision and we do a lot of good things, you go, boys, we're 2 kicks away from being 3-1 here and being in the finals race early. And then you watch some of the things that we do that aren't as good, especially after the Collingwood game, and you go, no, we're a bit further off it. So I think for a young group, we're excited with what we've shown, but not being able to polish and finish off in the fourth quarter has been a bit disappointing.
What was the mood like after the siren last week, Tom?
Yeah, I think I said a few words that probably can't be repeated on radio. We were gutted. I think that's the best thing about this group is that even though we're young and inexperienced and giving up a lot of games, we just hate losing. And it wasn't. Hey, we did well. We competed against a good team at Marvel where it's tough to play, and they wanted a quick game, and we gave them that. But we still held on. We scored a lot of points. It was, hey, we're better than this, and we can win this game, and we're disappointed in that.
You ever seen Year of the Dog, Terry Wallace?
I have not.
The doco about Footscray?
No.
Oh, it's superb. But there's a great line in that where he goes, if I see any of you blokes down at the club afterwards getting a pat on the back saying, well, at least you tried, he goes, God help me, I'll spew up. And it's such a terrific line about not tolerating defeat, even though there is such a thing as a noble defeat.
Yeah, and you got to take the positives out of games. You can't just wipe it all away and say, no, we lost, move on. You have to take the learnings from it, and we have, and we've had really good meetings this week just digesting what happened, what went wrong structurally and all that sort of stuff. But in the end, we're in a performance business, and if you don't get the wins, you lose, you go down the bottom of the ladder, and it's disappointing for us and fans.
Who leads that? Because I reckon all the armchair GMs and list managers at home go, yeah, great, rebuild, excellent, high draft picks, so we'll get the talent in, make some smart trades, the cap sheet looks good, all that kind of stuff, and at the same time, all the results are kind of, as long as we see some improvement, that's great. But I always think the downside of that is if you're in that environment where suddenly winning and losing stops mattering, how do you pull yourself out? Is it led by the coaching group or is it the players? How do you make sure you don't fall into that?
It's definitely both. I'm not sure who actually had the quote. It might have been a Lombardi quote about the how champions act like champions long before they are, sort of thing. We sort of want that approach where, we're not winning games. We're obviously not the most talented list at the moment. We're not the most experienced list, but we want to treat these games with an expectation of going in to win. We don't want to treat it, hey, let's just do our best and see if we can compete against Geelong and Melbourne and Essendon. We want to go in as if we're going to win this game, and they've got to play against us, and we've got to expect to win games to keep developing that. So at the moment, it's probably driven more by coaching and the playing group, where I know the armchair experts and the media are sort of like, hey, they're just developing, it's a rebuild, let them go. But we as an internal group are really pushing that to be great.
We don't ask you every single week about Josh Rochelli, but I kind of do want to ask every single week about Josh Rochelli because he got the Rising Star nom this week. So obviously the performance on the weekend was acknowledged. Just kind of felt like in that third quarter when you guys were coming, every transition from defensive 50 forward went through him. Does it amaze you how quickly he's taken to AFL football, or do you just say no? We've seen the talent all pre-season.
Well, it amazes me if you look at it from the perspective of he's 18 or 19, but if you look at it from the perspective of we watched him from day one and what he brought, no, it doesn't. he's been incredible, and we saw it early on. We knew it was coming, but for someone of his age and experience to put fear into defenders' brains like he does, they don't want to play on him at times because they know how dangerous he is, they know how crafty he is, and you can see it. They play him a little bit different. They're really hugging him tight so he gets out the back, or they roll off him trying to help out and he makes them pay every time. And obviously we don't want to set the expectations too high for him. He's still an 18, 19-year-old. He's still developing and he's still learning how to play the game, but he can't keep under promising because he just keeps over delivering every time.
Yeah, Tom, I got to admit, I didn't hear your segment last week because you came in on the day of chaos where Will had tested positive for COVID the night before. I thought I had COVID. I decided in my sleep that I had COVID, so I didn't come in. Turns out I didn't have COVID.
So deliberate false positive.
Yeah, that's right.
So wanted a day off.
2 days off work.
Wanted a week off. Yeah,
that's right, exactly. But it must have been utter chaos when you walked in. So you did it with Michael and Tom.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Michael and
Rennie, wasn't it?
Jade was in.
Jade.
No, it was pretty hectic. I mean, it was a nice change up. You two I like talking to, but every now and then you have to change it up and
probably
keep,
good to
keep the relationship fresh. You know,
that's right. Exactly.
It was pretty full on. That was it was a late call up, and then I was in. It was sort of like, all right, cool. We've got one segment that at least we know is going to go ahead, and even that at times looked a bit like, is this going to actually work? And then when it finished, I sort of left, and I believe the chaos started again. But it all went well. It was a good week, and I'm glad you two were back though.
Well, it would have been nice for you to work with a couple of professionals for a change.
The questions were a lot more like high level,
a lot more informed and intelligent.
It was like they were researched and stuff. It wasn't just off the cuff telling me Terry Wallace documentaries and things like that.
You got to watch Year of the Dog. It's one of the great docos.
I'm not an AFL historian by any stretch, but
it's like a 30 for 30 before 30 for 30s.
Oh, now you got my attention.
Superb.
I know how to sell it to him.
Yeah, if you talk American,
the same language.
It's about the rebranding of Footscray as the Western Bulldogs and how the term Footscray had become associated with their nuggety, their battlers, they're dogged. They've got a big heart, but they're kind of useless.
Yeah, right.
And how and so they bring in all the corporate psychologists and everything else. But
we should rename ourselves. Is that what you're hinting at? By the way,
what, you mean the club or the radio show?
Let's stay with radio show.
We take ratings 1 week at a time.
Yeah, that's right. Going through a little mini rebuild.
That's right.
Do you hate
media response?
Last time we spoke, we made mention of the fact that 2017. You hadn't played a game at that point in time, but you're on the list. There's very few guys on the list that were around at that time. Do you hate hearing the Richmond song? Because I tell you, we do. And the thought of playing Richmond this weekend, it almost feels like it's not a showdown, but it's still really young in the minds, and I reckon the hearts of Crows fans. Does it matter more, do you think?
I think for the blokes that were there, like on the list at the time, it does. It still sits there, and obviously it's not going to go away. That's a big loss, and it's the biggest day of the year in the AFL calendar. But for our younger group, probably not so much. We were at the game, obviously, in 2017. We heard the Richmond song 50,000 times after it, just playing on repeat. So I don't like the song. As good a song it is, it's played through my head that many times. But I think for our younger group, it's probably a little bit different. But whether they were fans or not of the Crows growing up, they probably don't have that same sort of dislike and that pain in their guts. But it'll be a grudge match no matter what, because of who they are and what they've done over the past 5-6 years, that everyone knows that they're the top dog, and we're trying to hunt them down.
Actually, my son sent me something good last night on Instagram. The IPL cricket team in Hyderabad, India, have commandeered the Richmond club song. I don't know if you've seen it.
We're from Hyderabad.
They go, we're from Hyderabad, the Fighting Fury, and then it goes da, 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 orange and black, because they're orange and black.
Why is Jim looking up IPL fight songs?
Mate, you've spoken to him. He's
a legend. I didn't know he was an
anything
IPL
to do with sport. He's into it, as you will know.
Well, that's not bad. That's funny when you go to American sports, college football and stuff. Like Michigan's song is like North Melbourne's song, and Notre Dame's is Sydney's and stuff like that. Like the old college teams that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and the AFL teams just stole theirs.
Yeah, well,
everyone over here we're sheltered. We think it's original.
It's the Marine song.
Yeah, something like that.
So, Dad and I were on a paddle steamer on the Mississippi in New Orleans, and there's a little pipe organ playing, and it starts going.
Don't sing along. The Americans don't like
nice.
that.
They must have known we were coming.
Well, they got the boat just ready for you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's really big of it. That shows how big you are.
Everyone
thinks Pembo's big in Adelaide.
Oh yeah.
New Orleans.
Oh my God.
Here he comes.
Exactly right.
Yeah, you have to say it.
Bourbon Street. Nolans.
Because they don't speak properly over there.
No, they. Very interesting. All right, dude, all the best for the weekend.
Good on you, Tom.
Catch you next week.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Good to see you, mate.
To Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer based right here in Adelaide.
original MasterChef winner, Julie Goodwin!
Julie's back.
Don't be nervous. It's like saying, don't be 51.
MasterChef Fans and Favourites starts Easter Monday on 10.
Adelaide BMW has a new home at Medindi BMW, specialising in next-day genuine BMW servicing and a large range of premium certified used BMWs. Visit Medindi BMW today at number 1 Main North Road, Medindi.
My escape outdoors.
My life outdoors.
My family time outdoors.
My living outdoors.
My Christmas outdoors.
My escape outdoors.
My living outdoors.
My family time outdoors.
My living outdoors.
I love my outdoors.
At My Living Outdoors, we turn spaces into places to live your best life. Outdoors, no matter what that is. So do your outdoors with My Living Outdoors. Pergolas, verandas, decking, and more. Visit mylivingoutdoors.com.au.
Hi, I'm Izzy, and my family runs St. Louis Home Care, which was started by my great-grandma 75 years ago. I wanted to introduce you to Deb, a carer and our receptionist. She's great.
Hi, Izzy.
Deb, you've been at St. Louis for 10 years. What do you love about it?
Oh, it's a great family-friendly environment and everyone's happy.
That's because St. Louis got them covered.
With everything from shopping and meals to gardening and home maintenance.
And don't forget the social activities. Google St. Louis Home Care to find out how my family can help take care of yours.
Have you been itching to help out? Now you can. CMAX are trialling a potential skin treatment and need your help. If you are aged 18 to 55 and don't have atopic dermatitis, you may be eligible to participate. Not only will you help make a difference, but all eligible participants will get reimbursed for their time. Visit cmax.com.au and search for CM7721. That's cmax.com.au. CM7721.
Booze Brothers. Pick the others cold.
At Booze Brothers, you'll always find something to fill your basket. Shop our catalogue for seasonal spirits, fresh beers, local craft beers and hard-to-hunt-for wines. Or pick up small batch handmade SA gin if that's more your thing. Whatever your sip this Easter long weekend, you'll find it at Booze Brothers, The Unley, Avenues Tavern, Mile End Hotel, The Duck Inn and online. All stores open Good Friday except Avenues Tavern.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy and 28 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Physio Extra Marion have a hydrotherapy pool now on site. Contact Physio Extra Marion or head to physioextra.com.
The police helicopter was targeted by a laser while in operation overnight. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says it happened just after midnight.
Police were performing duties over the western suburbs in the police helicopter when a laser was pointed at the aircraft and crew. The members in the crew notified Western District Patrols and they immediately swooped on a Semaphore Park address and arrested the 48-year-old occupant.
He's been charged with prejudice safe operation of an aircraft and use or have possession of a prohibited weapon. He's been bailed to front court next month. And a car has been torched at Semaphore Park. The alarm was raised on West Street just after 2:30 this morning. The Mazda 6 was completely destroyed. Crime scene investigators will go over the vehicle today. Well, Adelaide Airport is gearing up for its busiest day in 2 years. Up to 25,000 people will pass through the terminal today and again tomorrow as Easter and the school holidays start. Lengthy queues have been reported this morning, but there are no major delays. Travellers are urged to arrive 2 hours early for domestic flights. It's the last day of the mask mandate indoors. From 12:01 tomorrow, we can remove them. They'll only be required in high-risk settings like hospitals, jails and aged care homes. Premier Peter Malinauskas says it's a step forward, but a calculated step forward.
But I do think we've got to graduate to a point as we start to see the hospitalisation rate largely remain stable, just hovering above 200 at the moment. Case numbers looking like we're down around about 900 or 800 where we were at the same time last week. We've got to graduate to a new sense of normality, and I've been very keen to get us on a page of national consistency.
An Islamic State-inspired murderer has been sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for killing a British MP. UK correspondent Carrie-Anne Greenbank has more.
The terrorist who murdered British MP Sir David Amess will die behind bars after he was sentenced to a whole life prison term. 26-year-old Ali Harbi Ali stabbed the Conservative lawmaker more than 20 times during a meeting last October in a murder Sir David Amess's family has described as beyond evil. The self-confessed Islamic State fanatic was sentenced in the Old Bailey today after being found guilty of murder by a jury.
There are fears the besieged city of Mariupol is close to falling as Russia reports the surrender of more than 1,000 Ukrainian Marines. Ukraine's president has again called on Western nations to aid his country with more weapons. Delivering an impassioned online address in English, Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia can only be stopped by force.
Ukraine needs weapon supplies. We need heavy artillery, armed vehicles, air defense systems and combat aircraft. Anything to repel Russian forces and stop their war crimes.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
And with everything footy, here's Sam Tugwell.
Thanks, Mel. The Crows and Power face some selection dilemmas as round 5 teams are set to drop tonight. Port Adelaide hope to welcome back Aaliyah and Robbie Gray, who both have been out since round 1. While Martin Frederick will miss selection, he's been placed into health and safety protocols. Meanwhile, at Adelaide, they could shake things up with their team selections to face Richmond. Harry Schonberg set to be dropped to find some form, while defender Tom Duday told David and Will, despite being so close to winning, this team still has a lot to work on.
When you watch the vision and we do a lot of good things, you go, boys, we're 2 kicks away from being 3-1 here and being in the finals race early. And then you watch some of the things that we do that aren't as good, especially after the Collingwood game, and you go, no, we're a bit further off it. So I think for a young group, we're excited with what we've shown, but not being able to polish and finish off in the fourth quarter has been a bit disappointing.
The PGA Tour is expected to announce this morning that Melbourne will host the 2028 President's Cup. Royal Melbourne is the front runner to welcome back the world's best golfers after staging the event in 2019. In tennis, Alex de Minaur has been knocked out of the Indian Wells after winning the first set but ultimately falling short to world number 8 Andrei Rublev. And in the World Game, Manchester City has secured its place in the Champions League semi-finals after a fiery goalless draw with Atletico Madrid, and it saw them progress on aggregate.
Correa's up quickly, saved by Edison. One last bit of drama at the end, but Manchester City are celebrating this as though it's one of their greatest successes ever.
And Liverpool have also progressed to the semi-finals. They'll face Villarreal. And that's 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Looking for a new home for your old caravan? Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
At Black Forest, reports of a smash on Cross Road near Marion Road. At Sturt, smash on Sturt Road near Marion Road as well. Mount Barker, broken down truck on the side of the freeway as you're heading inbound. And Jeps Cross, smash on Bryans Road near Grand Junction Road. That's inbound as well and causing heavy delays. Cameras to look out for: Main Road, Belair, Victoria Road, North Haven. The Rebel sale is on now. Get 30% off selected full price Adidas clothing and save up to 30% on a great range of footwear. Rebel Sport is calling. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 winners $50,000 in their Easter draws. Ends midnight Thursday.
A partly cloudy Thursday on the way with a top of 28, partly cloudy tomorrow 28, and then sunny and 30 on Saturday. Right now it's 21 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Visit 202greenhill.com.au and donate to cancer accommodation, research, prevention and support this April.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
24 minutes to 9, we're broadcasting live from the Adelaide Central Market, and you'll find Angelakis Brothers down here at the Central Market. They've provided the seafood tray, which is one of our really enjoyable traditions that we have on 5AA Breakfast. We do a broadcast here on the Thursday before the Easter long weekend. We give away a fish tray to someone today, inspired by Anthony Albanese. I'm sure he'll be delighted to know that. We're asking when you've ever put your foot in it. Whenever you put your foot in it and said the wrong thing. 8223 is the number. You can text us too on the Telstra Storm Mount Barker text line. Behind Closed Doors is coming up, but I know you just got up and had a wander around the market, your old stomping ground. This is, it's just alive at the moment. It's beautiful.
It is. It's got a real buzz about it. The market. It always has had. Obviously, the last couple of years have been a bit rough, as they have across the entire retail sector. But we caught up with Jade, the market general manager, earlier. There's a job. That'd be what a great office. Imagine that. You would not have a bad day at the office if you worked here in the central market. But I mean, we're doing the MasterChef competition at the moment, and whenever we catch up with Matt Preston or any of the other people involved in MasterChef and things like Tasting Australia that'll be happening later this year in Victoria Square, one thing that everybody across the nation agrees is that South Australia punches so far above its weight when it comes to food. And the food sort of epicentre, the place that really represents all of the best food traditions in South Australia, is the Adelaide Central Market. And, I've mentioned plenty of times about my time here in the late 80s working at McMahon's Fruit and Veg, but just thinking back to that era, that was a time when you couldn't buy things like, even a herb like coriander wasn't readily available in suburban supermarkets. All of the sort of pioneering sort of food trends, it's always been the central market that has been the front runner here in South Australia. Beyond that, though, it's the spiritual home of so many places that have become South Australian institutions. Talking about places like Angelakis, the pioneering work that Michael Angelakis did, and such a great part of the history of the state. Like the Angelakis family came out from Greece. They were in Ceduna. Michael always jokes that as a boy he was called the Prince of Thevenard because he treated the little the town and the jetty there like it was his own backyard. But just looking around, Charlesworth nuts. If you go there, I think I bought you a bag of the market mix.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Which is cashew nuts, pepitas, walnuts in that sort of spice mix. There's so many places in the central market itself. O'Connell's Meats. A lot of these businesses we have relationships with. Vegas. Adam, very kindly, I was telling him before the show started, we're out the front together having a yarn on the stools outside Zuma's Cafe there on Goodger Street, and I said, mate, you should know my two kids, we call them the best nuggies in the world. They're chicken nuggets, and this is not a case of nuggets for comment, but he just very generously walked past and said, Dave, here's some nuggets for your boys.
No, I think if you declare it, it's okay.
Oh, I've just declared it on air.
So as long as you make it clear, you can accept all the nuggets and make all the nice nugget commentary you want.
And that is not, in case ACMA is listening, I don't think that is in the same sphere as John Laws suddenly telling his listeners how good Australia's banks are.
It's 20 minutes to 9.
No money changed hands, only nuggets.
No, that's exactly right. Nuggets aren't covered in the Act, as far as I understand it. We have some Meat Tray Friday, what am I saying? Seafood Tray Thursday to give away. Dave in South Brighton, when have you put your foot in it?
Oh, many times, mate. You don't have long of a show to go for me to do it all. So
give us one.
I just picked this one up. Part of my job involves going around to people's homes, quoting on kitchens, bathrooms and all that sort of stuff. I said to this lady one time, I was looking around at all the toys that she was having there, and and I said, wow, I said, these days our grandkids get more stuff than our kids ever got. And she looked at me horrified. They were her kids. And I couldn't, I wish there was a hole I could have jumped in. Because I felt so, but she goes, grandkids? They're my kids. And I'm thinking, oh no. But on the right side, I still got the job.
Geez, you must have done everything else right.
Only about 30 years out.
Thank you, Dave. All right, let's go to Highgate. Amy, good morning.
Oh, good morning. My story is very similar to Dave's. There's a local chicken and chip shop that we went and picked up chicken and chips the other night, and a friend of mine from school owns it, and I haven't from high school. And I said to the lady serving me, I went to school with your son. You guys own the shop together, don't you? And she said, that's my brother.
Oh dear. Oh, that's brutal.
Oh dear.
Ouch. There's no comeback, is there? There's no clever sequence of words you can use to.
Hope the cold sore didn't taste unusual after that.
Oh, thank you, Amy. 8223 0000 the number, or text us on the Telstra Storm Out Parker text line. You know what I think it's time to do? to round out the week in the lead up to the long weekend. Let's give away $2,500 cash in our MasterChef competition, with MasterChef returning on Monday night. Fans v Favourites. Round out your Easter long weekend by watching the return of MasterChef on Channel 10. And prove right here and now that you are a MasterChef by calling 8223 0055. David has given out, where are we at? Seven ingredients thus far.
Yep.
And they all point to a dish. He says that these 8 ingredients can't make anything else.
No.
The 8th ingredient is about to be revealed. Once it is, we'll take the first caller through, and then we'll just keep taking calls until someone guesses the recipe correctly. 8223 0055. And it's as easy as that, and you'll win $2,500 cash. So tell us about the final ingredient.
Okay, folks, I've been saying all week that this isn't easy. That's because it's a MasterChef competition. MasterChef values excellence. And also, the prize itself is a whopping $2,500. So it's not a ham sandwich. It's not scrambled eggs. It's not cheese on toast. It is something that includes the 8th ingredient. Now, I'll give you a little bit of extra detail here. The 8th ingredient is a veal fillet. But it is a veal fillet that, in order to make this dish, the piece you want, the cut of veal you want, goes by the name Girello.
Okay, all right.
Girello. You want a cut of veal known as Girello in order to make this dish.
8223 0055 is the number.
Even the word Girello is itself a bit of a pointer to the cuisine we're talking about here.
Okay.
Get it right. Sound German, does it?
It doesn't sound German. It does not sound
German. Doesn't sound Thai.
No.
Doesn't sound Japanese.
No, it's not Chinese. 8223 0055. We've got our first call on the line. It's Olympia. Olympia, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're good, Olympia. How are you? Are you confident?
Well, thank you.
Are you confident? You think you've got it?
I think I may have it.
Yeah.
Right. Just take us through your thinking, Olympia.
Is it vitello tonato or veal with the tuna sauce?
Congratulations to you, Olympia. You've got $2,500 cash coming your way.
Magnifico. Hey, Olympia. Olympia, that sounds more like a Greek name than an Italian name.
It certainly is.
But you know you're Italian. What's the saying in Italian? Una faccia, una rasa. One
That's
face,
exactly
one race.
Right.
The Greeks and the Italians, they're kindred spirits. Have you made so for those who aren't familiar with the dish, vitello tonato it's basically a poached veal fillet that is cut thin and served cold in a beautiful light tuna mayonnaise with capers. It's a wonderful summer dish. Have you ever made it, Olympia?
No, I haven't, I'll be honest with you, but I've made many other dishes from different cultures.
What's your favourite cuisine? Being Greek, is Greek your go-to?
Oh, yeah, I'll make a pretty good pasticcio for my kids.
Oh,
they love that. But I do love making Indian and Asian dishes too.
Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it? It's a nice way of
I love it. I love cooking.
Yeah, well, congratulations, because you are the
winner.
Thank
you so much. Thank you very much.
If you need any new Bessemer, that'll buy you some more Bessemer.
Yeah, Olympia. Thank you.
That's a Greek joke.
Okay.
Every single Greek in Australia has a Bessemer cooking set.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I wouldn't have a clue. I don't.
It's like Tupperware for Greeks.
Most of what's happened in the last 7 minutes.
You can only buy Bessemer at
might
parties.
Might as well have been in Greek.
You have to go to Bessemer parties to get Bessemer.
I don't know what Bessemer is. I've never heard of this dish.
It is excellent cookware.
Okay. That's why I don't do a cooking
Vitello
show.
tonato.
The good news is MasterChef is back Monday night. MasterChef fans and favourites starts Easter Monday, April 18th on Channel 10. We had olive oil on day 1 and the guest was spaghetti. Bay leaves ×3 on day 2. Chicken coq au vin was the guest. Lemon on day 3 and Musselman curry was the guest. White wine and paella on day 4. Eggs, and I don't think the guest was Parafield Gardens, but that's probably where the person who called in from. And day 6, capers, Hungarian goulash.
Yep.
Earlier today, number 7 was what?
Canned tuna, and someone just sort of Pavlovian sort of response said tuna mornay.
Tuna mornay.
You thought tuna mornay too,
Yeah.
but as I said, veal was the last ingredient, and it was the dead giveaway. So for those, look up the recipe. It's worth making. It's really easy. You poach the veal for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then you let it cool. You poach it in like a court bouillon. You let it cool, cut it thin, make the tuna and egg mayo, and you're off.
Lucy's got the giggles over there at the moment. I don't know what's happened, Luce. Turn yourself on. Tell us what's good.
What's so funny?
Hello.
How are you, Luce?
What's happening over there?
Just at your Parafield Gardens. I was typing up your notes at about 3:30 this morning, so I didn't realise that the guest was not Parafield Gardens.
You can't make Parafield Gardens out of eggs.
Also,
I don't know a lot about cooking, so there's every chance I would have just read that out.
I know.
Guess 6 was Parafield Gardens.
Vitello Tonato. If we keep David talking about it, we'll be here till about 11 a.m. So let's.
The world capital of Vitello Tonato
is here.
Is the Thebarton Foodland. They've always got Girello there.
Yeah, and what's the one fact? It's the one Foodland in Adelaide that makes it. Is that right?
No, they don't make it, but they always sell Girello.
There you go.
It's from Piedmont in Italy.
There you go.
Beautiful.
There you go.
All right, hit the traffic wheel.
All right,
let's go.
thank you.
I could talk all morning about Vitello Tonato.
No, I think Lucy was trying to subtly make that point. Looking for a new home for your old caravan? Well, Knowles Caravans pay cash or can sell on consignment.
Few collisions to look out for this morning. One at Gillis Plains, Grand Junction Road at St Olds Road. Another one at Black Forest, Cross Road near Marion Road. And one at Jeps Cross, Bryans Road near Grand Junction Road as you're heading inbound, causing quite heavy delays. Got a broken down truck this morning at Mount Barker. It's on the side of the freeway as you're heading into the city. And we've got cameras today, Holbrooks Road, Flinders Park, Lander Road, Shadow Park. Style your home with freedom. Save up to 30% off all homewares, including cushions, rugs, lighting, wall art and more. Hurry, 30% off all homewares is on for a limited time, only at Freedom. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The original MasterChef winner,
Julie Goodwin!
Julie's back.
Don't be nervous. It's like saying, don't be 51.
MasterChef, fans and favourites. Starts Easter Monday on 10.
Scores are tight as the halftime siren sounds. Jackson grabs his footy, runs onto the oval. His sister Kayla is right behind him. It's halftime of the Host Plus Sandful League, and the kids are going berserk.
The Host Plus Sandful League. It's quality football, free entry for the kids, plus loads of activities to keep them entertained. And don't forget your footy for a kick and a catch on the oval. Keep the kids entertained this weekend at the Host Plus Sandful League. Nothing beats it. Visit sandful.com.au for match info.
It's not often you get to go behind the scenes of one of Adelaide's top home builders. Well, at Beechwood Homes, you can. The stunning Beechwood display home at Blackwood Park has just been sold, but that doesn't mean you miss out. Call Steve from Beechwood and he'll take you behind the scenes of other Beechwood masterpieces currently under construction. You'll get an incredible insight into what makes Beechwood Homes an SA favourite. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
Now, we all love chalky eggs, but today is your last chance for the golden egg to make this an Easter you'll truly remember.
That's right, the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. They're giving 5 lucky ticket holders $50,000 each in their Easter Bonanza draws, just for buying your tickets early.
$50,000 just for being early. To be in the Easter Bonanza draws, you need to grab your tickets before midnight tonight, plus your tickets stay in the draw for the ultimate $4 million grand prize, which includes that absolutely stunning home in Henley Beach.
That's right, 4 bedrooms, fully furnished, pool, games room, entertaining areas, and here's something you can't find on realestate.com. It comes with $1 million each.
Don't miss the $50,000 Easter Bonanza draws, but you need to purchase your tickets before midnight tonight. Hop online and get your tickets now at homelottery.com.au.
If you're due for a service, here's a little reminder of what you get at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Sure, your car gets state-of-the-art servicing by top-trained mechanics, but what do you get? Try next-day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. Oh, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we know that to be the best, we've got to look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
We don't just say we're local, we are local. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide.
Help create a home for South Australians impacted by cancer. Visit 202greenhill.com.au.
You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Cute. Up and said hi at the
he's a legend.
We're broadcasting from here in the Adelaide Central Markets.
He makes this beautiful beef sort of rub, like a spice powder in memory of his legendary son Jack. And And it's the second time he's given us a jar of this spice mix. It's superb on grilled meat.
He said it's idiot-proof. Even I'll be able to sprinkle this on. He didn't say it quite like that, but
well,
that's what I heard.
He implied it.
I mean, it would have been factually correct. 8 to 9. Let's squeeze in one more fish tray Thursday caller, thanks to Angelakis Brothers here at the markets. Robert in St. Peter's, when have you ever put your foot in it?
Well, it was when I first arrived in Papua New Guinea. I worked there, and the first time I arrived, they had a stopover point at a village, and I was the only person from overseas at the time. And this guy comes up to me at the village and says, "You have piss now?" And I said, "No, thanks. I went to the airport. I'm fine." 15 minutes later, the same thing. "You have piss now?" I said, No. I was quite strong. He said, No, I'm fine. Go away. And 15 minutes later, he came with a big plate of fish. And he said, you must eat them piss now. So later, studying pidgin English, I found that piss was fish.
Imagine his surprise when you said, "No, I went at the airport."
I know. And I was the only one there. It was quite daunting to me. I've read, you had to be friendly with the locals, and I'm saying hello, and they spit this red blood, and later I found out they were chewing betel nuts.
Yeah.
So,
did you? Can I ask you, Robin? Did you end up learning? Did you end up learning pidgin English?
Yes. You study this Teletok or Noga? I mean, do you
What
understand
was that?
language?
No.
You study this Teletok or Noga?
That's amazing.
Do you understand the language?
That's incredible. Good
It's
on you,
similar
Robert.
there's pidgin language in Vanuatu, isn't there? Because I can remember on a packet of cigarettes in Vanuatu, the health warning said, "Every pull belong tobacco, e killimu." So every pull, every drag that belongs to the cigarette kills you.
Yeah, right.
Every pull belong to tobacco, e killimu.
6 to 9.
Consider yourself warned.
We're going to give away the fish tray in just a moment. But before we do, we'll go behind closed doors.
Quite timely, isn't it?
Yeah,
After that call, giving away the piss tray.
Yeah, exactly right. Thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions. They're looking for subcontract drivers right now. Call 13 13 64. That's 13 13 64.
And when we get behind
13.95. Adelaide's 5AA. This is Graham Goodings.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings. GG with you. That's what they're calling me lately on the Telstra Store Mount Barker text line. And I like it, so I'm staying with it. We've got a big show for you, and I think some things that will pique your interest. I'm sure you'll enjoy my little turns of phrase that I like to use, like pique your interest. It's a good one. I'm feeling absolutely top hull today, so there's another one. The number to ring is 8223 0000 or the text line 0448 08 1395. Not sure why I say in the phone number, but 0 for the text number. That's a bit singular. I've used a couple of those turns of phrase at Crow's board meetings, and nobody understood me. Give us a call or send a text. Here's one from Ron, who says, "Hi GG, this whole gender equality thing is getting out of hand. There are only two genders, male or female, penis or no penis, bloke or Sheila." Yeah, I think the main thrust of that particular text is the fact that it was probably the first time a lot of people have heard me say penis. You don't really get a chance to say penis when you're reading television news, so that's pretty much a first. 8223 0000 is the number if you'd like to hear me say it again.
As someone who lived with my father for the formative years of my life, that voice that he does is frighteningly accurate at times.
It's amazing.
It's
isn't it?
really
uncanny.
It's really quite close. I feel like I'm in trouble. All right. We have a seafood to give away, as is tradition here at the Adelaide Central Markets. Thanks to Angelakis Brothers here. They're open today until 7 p.m, so you can get your fish and seafood for Easter, even if you forget to get it during the day. They're at Stall 6 here at the Central Markets. Great chatting with Alex Cannole earlier. I think he's a real character. He's quite a funny guy.
He's terrific.
Good to chat with him. Who are we going to give the fish tray to?
Well, look, I reckon he came from the clouds right at the end.
Yeah.
There. I think Robin came from the clouds In fact, if you came from the clouds in Papua New Guinea, you'd say that you came from the clouds in a breeze lorry.
Yep.
Which is a pidgin English term for a plane.
A breeze lorry?
Breeze lorry.
I like
breeze
that.
lorry.
Yeah.
That's the pidgin for plane. So, Robin, and he might even be a first-time caller. Thanks to everybody who called in.
Robert. Yeah.
Sorry, Robert. A little bit hard hearing down the line here with the old Milo tin with string that's attached to High Mask Square. But Robert, and the piss tray is the winner of the fish tray.
That is exactly right. Well, we just want to wish all our listeners a terrific Easter. Have a wonderful Easter, however you choose to acknowledge it. And
be careful on the roads, folks. Can't
absolutely.
stress that enough.
And if you're at the airport, just be patient with the people working there.
Yeah,
because it's not their fault.
All the security people, all of the baggage handlers, all of the check-in crews, they're all doing the best they can. They've probably been like every other business, knocked around with rostering problems and so on. But it's a peaceful time. And for those of you who are religious, we know that it means a heck of a lot to you. So enjoy your moments of quiet reflection over the weekend, and we'll be back on Tuesday.
Ladbroke at this autumn racing carnival with Ladbroke's same race multi. Add up to 4 runners to watch your potential payout increase.